After taking it down to the wire to make the playoffs, Ottawa is now 1 win away from their first PWHL final. Montreal has its back against a wall and have to steal a game on the road. It's time for Game 4. Welcome back to Ottawa. A beautiful summer's day outside as inside fans show off their charged colors. Ottawa with the chance to advance here at home tonight. Welcome to TD Place. I'm Kelly Gregg. It's been an extremely tight series with each game decided by just one goal, but tonight it is advantage Ottawa with a 2-1 series lead. A win would mean they would face off against the Minnesota Frost in the PWHL finals. Two goaltender of the year nominees at opposite ends of the ice tonight, but it's been the trio of Gabby Hughes, Emily Clark, and Manon McMahon that have been largely credited with shutting down Montreal's top line. Victoire captain Marie-Philippe Poulin has been kept off the score sheet in the past 2 games, despite being one of the league's most lethal shooters, saying after Game 3, they know it is do or die. With more on tonight's pivotal game, let's send it up to the booth with Kenzie Lalonde and Cheryl Pounder.
And Kelly Poulin has not gone more than 2 games without registering a point this season, so she's due for one here tonight. And these are her moments, but it's been Clark, McMahon, and Hughes that have made it very difficult for this top line of the Victoire to be productive this series.
Yeah, and Coach Carl McLeod said to us, you have to defend in layers against that top line. I mean, Poulin is the best player in the world for a reason. When her back is up against the wall, they will have their hands full tonight. The line of Hughes, Clark, and McMahon, they've got to play her heavy, they've got to play her tough, and they've got to work to get above position in the neutral zone to shut her down before she actually gets the puck. And hey, if you can put up some offense while you're at it and get the DGWG, as McMahon did last game, all the better, but it'll be all defense from that line trying to shut Poulin and Stacey down.
And it's the Hughes line that's done a great job of shutting down Poulin's efforts, which then allows Jenner, Vinisheva, and Darkangelo to find the score sheet. They have contributed to 3 of the 6 goals so far in this series for the Charge. And this crowd believes that this team can punch their ticket to the PWHL finals. They are 1 win away as they look to remain undefeated at home. Let's send things over to PA announcer Ryan Lindsay to announce the Ottawa Charge starting lineup.
Charge fans, it's time to meet tonight's starting lineup. On defense, number 23, numéro 23, Jocelyn Leroy. Also on D, number 21, numéro 21, Ashton Bell. And left wing, number 26, numéro 26, Emily Clark. On right wing, number 18, numéro 18, Manon McMahon. At center, number 17, numéro 17, Gabby Hughes. And in between the pipes, number 33, numéro 33, Gwyneth Phillips. Fans, give it up one more time for your Ottawa Charge!
It's Friday night, PWHL underway in the nation's capital. The Charge 1 win away from taking on the Minnesota Frost in the PWHL finals. We'll have puck drop for you next inside TD Place Arena.
The chase begins now. Moments become memories. And only one team will rise above the rest.
A breakaway, the captain, she scores!
She scores!
For the game, for the glory, for the W.
Welcome to the nation's capital. It's Game 4 of the 2025 PWHL semifinal playoffs presented by Shark Ninja. The Ottawa Charge, one win away from playing in the PWHL finals. Can they take down the Victoire tonight? Let's take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks, proud partner of the PWHL. Head coach Corey Chevry shaking up that top line. Lena Youngblum will slide in for Jen Gardner. And for the Ottawa Charge, no lineup changes for this team as they look to punch their ticket here tonight. The Hughes line will be relied upon heavily to take down Poulet and Stacey and company. Your starting goaltender is André Desbiens, has made the most saves so far in the playoffs, 111 up to this point. She's never allowed more than 3 goals against this season and is a finalist for goaltender of the year. And as is Gwyneth Phillips in her rookie year, the first rookie goaltender to ever earn a shutout in the playoffs and 5th ever to accomplish that feat. She currently has the best save percentage and goals against average for a goaltender in the playoffs.
Corey Chevry changes up that top line. Youngblum has a great shot, so you got a triple threat in terms of 3 shooters. I would have expected Laura Stacey perhaps because she can drive her own line to drop to that second line, but nonetheless, here we go.
Puck drop and away we go. Game 4, the Charge just need one more win to play in the PWHL finals and meet the Minnesota Frost. As Barn fires it on net early, Phillips tries to make the save. It's loose out in front, cleared away by McMahon.
Right away, you see the rim, right? And if you're going to get that, Kayla Barnes, a right shot defender, is going to jump down and keep play alive. Quick shot on net. You can expect that Corey Chevry said, we want to put pucks to net. We want to get traffic in front of the eyes of Phillips, who made 26 of 26. Right off the face-off, you can see that 50-50, the jump through and getting it in deep. This is the bread and butter of the Victoire. They recover pucks, especially on the dump-in. That'll be a trend we'll be looking for all game long.
The Victoire find themselves in a similar situation as last year, an elimination game. This time it happens in Game 4 as they look to keep their playoff hopes alive and push for a Game 5 that will be in Montreal on Sunday. McMahon on the breakout will use the boards to throw it the distance, but it will be an icing call, so we'll head back into Ottawa's territory.
Carla McLeod said that below the goal line, in particular with this top line, you want to make sure that you only have one down there, and then if you can anticipate a pass and break it up, you can get going the other way quickly. But Marie-Philippe Poulin leads in terms of trying to put pucks in passes through to the slot. So if she's down below the goal line, you want to make sure that everyone else is protecting the middle of the ice. Don't allow those crease passes to get shots off.
They're shaking up the top line. Youngblum's there. That moves Gardner with Marie Murphy at center for the third line. And also the defenders. Ambrose is going to be with Keppel here tonight as opposed to Taven. As Laurent takes his puck out for Ottawa. Continues to lead the Charge in time on ice through the playoffs. There's a much welcomed addition. A move made by General Manager Mike Hirschfeld that's really paying off down the stretch. Darkangelo and Vinisheva, 2 other critical trades that have been made that are paying off for Ottawa. Willoughby moving it ahead for Dubois. Here comes the depth for Montreal as that shot's just wide. That'll be the key for Montreal in their scoring production area to get their depth on the board. The Hughes line has just done such a good job of shutting down Poulet's line as Venetia draws it in and Desbiens will hold her post to make the save. So we're up to them to find the score sheet as Jenner has done that twice so far in the playoffs. Shot from the blue line just wide. Jenner trying to get a piece of it as Dubois gets there first along the boards.
Well, it all starts through the neutral zone. If you can get 3 people activating into the offensive zone, you saw Vinisheva come into the zone, but also recovered the puck. And not only off the rush, but in terms of the cycle game, Ottawa has led in the playoffs with the 4 remaining teams.
It's first time ever the Victoire find themselves in a Game 4 as Murphy brings it in. She has Boreen with her. Murphy, it's a great stick by Savalainen to swat it away. Savalainen and Boyd been together quite a bit this season. Carla McLeod really liking the chemistry, big bodies. As Gardner tries to keep it deep, but it's 2-on-1 the other way. Hughes and Meixna, away for Ottawa. Meixna, out wide, her shot, rebound, she scores! Rebecca Leslie, it's the Ottawa native to get Ottawa in the lead. We'll leave it to the hometown kid to put the Charge up 1-0.
Well, this is going to be a dream start, Kenzie Lalonde for the Ottawa Charge. And you talk about defensive details, and you get the play at one end. And it's a bit of a miscue as 2 of the Victoire collide. But look at, you can see Gardner's above it, but because she's static, all of a sudden it's an odd player rush the other way. Meixna's going to take this shot, but it's off the far pad, so the rebound kicks right back out. And Leslie's on the doorstep. She's a right-handed shot, so she's able to corral it and put it in the open basket. But that's just a beautiful shot on that rebound out right on the stick of Rebecca Leslie.
Her first as an Ottawa Charge in the postseason. She had a goal last year for the Toronto Scepters after Natalie Spooner went down. She was the only member of the Scepters to score after that injury. Here comes Clark looking to make it 2-0. She'll spin back. Rebecca Leslie, the Ottawa native, grew up playing minor hockey here. Former Ottawa Lady Senator, had 67 season ticket holders, and she's the difference maker in this first period. You can't write the script any better than that. Ottawa had an electric first period back in Game 3, and we're seeing that again in Game 4.
There's just so much pace to this Ottawa team and so much belief. And if you have belief within the room, you know, it's amazing what you can do up and down the lineup.
1-0, the Charge lead in the first period. Hit late, Vasco in the corner for Ottawa. In front, Bach tries to get the shot off. Campbell steals it back.
Well, Bach's positioning as F3 is she's above the option. She's able to disrupt and come down, and now you've got sustained ozone pressure.
Out in front off the skate, but Desbiens gets there just in time. Working it down low is Ottawa. Serdachny on a 25-game goalless drought moves it ahead. Taylorova down low for Ottawa off the stick of Vasco.
Right away, you're seeing that offensive zone possession, and we saw Ottawa lead last game as well, and they're leading in terms of the playoffs with an average of 551, but this is some sustained pressure by being in the right spot defensively to disrupt in a quick movement north, and you can see just pushing that puck to the middle of the ice, and Victoria Bach coming down the middle, but it's all about recovery, and this is an area that Ottawa in the playoffs alone has been so strong at, takeaways and finding ways to get second shot opportunities on net.
Ottawa on the board in the first period coming into this game. 4 of their 6 goals were scored in the third period.
And you're seeing that loose puck recovery, and they're first in terms of the playoffs. You look at the underlying metrics, and you're seeing a lot of ones for the Ottawa Charge.
Jenner, the only other player that has scored a first period goal for the Charge. That came on the power play back in Game 1. But Dubois was the quadruple overtime hero for the Victoire as she bulldozes her way into the corner. Leslie with the lone goal, assisted by Anna Meixner, picks up her first playoff point.
And I like that she took the shot, right? I mean, just having the confidence to take it. Sometimes on a 2-on-1, you know, you want to share the wealth. Well, that was a beautiful shot, and Anne-Renee Desbiens makes the first save, but because of its placement, the rebound kicks right back out front.
Meixner had 6 shots on net through 3 games coming into this game tonight, but her minutes continue to increase here for this Ottawa Charge group. We talked a lot about that, the importance of depth. Leading all lines in order to be successful in the playoffs, and the Charge are playing their best hockey right now through and through their lineup as Meixner goes 1-on-2 into the board battle. Bouillet stopped up. She'll reverse it to Anna Wilgren, who leads the Victoire in point production right now, 3 assists. Looking for the loose puck, Meixner gets there first. Her first time in North America, coming over, joining the Charge.
And the reason this puck is in the zone is because Meixner's on the hunt, and Leslie's above the option, and she's able to come down on it, close, and keep the puck in zone. Even with the Victoire in the neutral zone, it's turning over.
The other way for Ottawa, Leslie 1-on-2 into the boards. Murphy banks it back for Kayla Barnes. What a strong Game 3 despite the 1-0 loss for the Victoire. Up for Barnes, 8 block shots for her so far in the playoffs. She'll take it out wide, and her shot to go to Phillips, but it gets touched off the brim of her glove. Keppel fires it right back down. Victoire have numbers in the corners. Markowski plays the body. She's got 5 block shots so far in her playoff run here, Markowski, the Edmonton native. LaRocque heads back for it. It's 2 career assists in her playoff performance experience. 4 players coming over from the Scepters. I played all 5 games last year against Minnesota and found themselves in the same situation in 2025, losing to the Frost.
See the nice positioning in the neutral zone, so defensive posture through the middle of the ice, and that forces the turnover and the offside. And the Chargers certainly doing a nice job of closing quickly, being above the option, and what that does right there, you see Leslie just chipping it on the hunt. Is going to be Meixner, and you can see her going. Now she's going to put it down below the goal line. Now all of a sudden you've got recovery, you're finding ways to challenge. Now the second one scoops in. There it is. Let's turn it over. Now all of a sudden they've got it. Guess what? Look, chop down on the option and keeping it in. That is picturesque. I'm not sure even if that's a word in hockey, but if you're talking about structure and posture, that's how it's done.
Leslie's lone goal in the regular season with the Charge came short-handed. So that is her first even strength goal this season and first in the postseason as a Charge. Samalainen looking to center. Poulet corrals the puck, keeps it in zone. Taven from the blue line. Phillips gets a piece of it. 4-3, just one overtime loss in her record here at home. Phillips, 110 saves so far, just one less today. Bien coming into this game. It's really been a goaltending battle in this series. Look at Minnesota, Toronto. Well, that was a scoring clinic throughout their games played. As Darkangelo lobs to center, her shot just wide. Boulier started her PWHL career as an Ottawa Charge. Collision, Bob will take control. Her shot blocked by Boulier.
Well, we asked Carl McLeod in particular about that fourth line, and she said, listen, you know, they've got good offensive skill set. We've been working on their defensive abilities, and they're certainly showing it right now. And listen, your first line of defense leads to your first line of offense, and I'm a true believer in that. You make a good defensive effort, you wind up with the puck back.
Ottawa leads 1-0. It was just a 1-0 game in Game 3. Between Jenner's tying goal in Game 2 to McMahon's game-winning goal in Game 3. It was his longest scoreless streak in team history for the Charge.
Corey Chevry looking on, and the line adjustments that she has made. We'd spoken about that with her earlier in the tournament as to whether she would do it. She said, listen, I do like the way my team is playing, and you got to get in those shooting lanes. And a team that's led all year long, you see Boulier is going to go down on that one knee to be able to take away that lane to the net.
Ottawa in Montreal zone. Razova to Taylorova, who leads the playoffs in block shot. Comes into this game with 10 so far through her 3 games played. Back into Montreal zone. Mike Snow gets a touch. Leslie first on it. Arrives with Keppel right there. Loose pocket center. Markowski jumps down. Into the corner it will go. And Ottawa's able to get some fresh legs. Out comes Vinisheva. Keppel takes a look. Reverses it back. Razova hopes to be first on it. Barnes along the boards. Uses the glass to chip this up, but it hits Boring's glove on the bench. So it'll be a stoppage of play. 11:56 remaining in the first period. Rebecca Leslie, your lone goal scorer for the Charge.
We just getting started. Finger on trigger with aim on a target. I'm shooting my shot, yeah. It's right on the money, no discount, no bargain. Hearing them calling. The clock is ticking, we cannot be stalling. We pulling up harder. Hey, one shot, one chance, I gotta go all in. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, I'm bound to win it. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, get down to business. You know what it is. You know what it is. Hang time, check, hang time, we hang time, check, hang time, we up. Gotta stay up, way, way up. It's cut it up, want a rematch. First time won't be last. It's the beginning, we just got started. 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 It's the beginning, we just got. It's the beginning, we just got started.
Well, you might not know the name, but you definitely know the noise. This is Britt Hurley and the fans in Section 11 here at TD Place, who kind of got this whole kazoo thing going. So where did it come from?
Well, it came from hearing the the Charge song the first time and wanting to hear a little bit more of it. We weren't satisfied with the one time. We wanted to hear it 3 times. There it is. It's going to happen. I can't control this. So we wanted to hear it 3 times, so we decided to bring kazoos. I imitated it one day at a bar, made that noise, and I got called out really quickly for my terrible impersonation of a trumpet. And then the kazoos.
Taking off from there, the fans have really embraced it. Britt, thank you so much.
No problem, thank you.
It's a great noisemaker. Hey, with all the restrictions nowadays in arenas, it's a great instrument for fans to bring along, and I'm pretty sure that's how you chipped your tooth there,
I
Connor.
was practicing it, Kens. I was practicing. Wasn't working quite the right way for me, though. I think I had the wrong end.
We needed a tutorial. It took us a little bit. We'll leave it to Section 11 and the rest of TD Place Arena to get the kazoos firing as this game goes on. And they have been cheering loud because it's their team in the lead, 1-0. Montreal looking to respond as Poulet finds Youngblom on the far side as head coach Corey Chevry made this adjustment coming into this game. We have seen Derek Grand Mentos have looks as well up there, but certainly the first change at the start of the game we've seen from the coaching staff.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's only a 5-game series, so you have to make those adjustments. And you know, it's tough, right? You know what works in the regular season, but you gotta get a bump somewhere. I was surprised Bourine didn't actually elevate. You know, there's been chemistry there alongside Poulet. I do think Stacey can drive her own line, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of accommodations are made if they are still behind late in this game.
Check out FanDuel for all the latest odds and betting markets available for the PWHL.
Another point to be made, Murphy going to the middle adds a right option in the dot where typically you got 4 deep, all left hands at the dot for the Victoire.
Murphy's own power play goal in this series coming on the power play as it did last year. Last year there were 3 games, she registered a point in each and every game. Right now the lone goal as Stacey moves it ahead for the Victoire, and she leads in shots on net so far in the postseason, a whopping 24 through 3 games played, had 18 through 2. She certainly gets the volume on net, but it's been the goaltending at Gwyneth Phillips at the other end that has been the difference maker for Ottawa. With the likes of Phillips and her stepping in for relief from Ashmeyer went down due to injury.
You see this fourth line again, they are just absolutely buzzing. Even on the counter, on the transition, 3 of them flooded one side of the ice for that board bank. So even when it went in deep, they had numbers on the hunt on the forecheck.
A chance for Bourine through the legs, can't get it off. A great look for Abby Bourine in this game. Didn't have a shot on net in game 3. Murphy, another look for this line.
Well, it would have been nice for them because they're the dash on the Leslie goal. You know, they got tied up.
Mike's a shot, Desbiens with the save, a great rebound pops out. Charge looking to take advantage of these rebounds here in the first period. Leslie found a way earlier on in this period.
Kind of kicked out the same way, didn't it? Just kind of came out just on an angle to the left of Renee Desbiens.
Charge lead 1-0 in the first period, looking to punch their ticket to the PWHL Finals.
Here's to the bold, the determined. More than athletes, they're icons, warriors, opponents of the status quo. Proving that dreams are realized through dedication and come alive on the ice. This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
That is unbelievable. I don't know what it felt like in the stands, but you're on the bench and you're getting the reverb of everything, and then it just makes this such an incredible experience. We are so fortunate in Ottawa to have the fan base that we have, and they just keep yelling and screaming and cheering and booing and whatever else we need in those moments. It's special. We're lucky to be here in Ottawa, and it's not lost on us.
I have to tell you, Kenzie, in that game I could barely hear you, and I was turning my volume up because I'm like, is it my headset or is it the crowd? And as an athlete, as a broadcaster, the number of rinks that I have been in over, the years, over the decades, and I can tell you that that was arguably the loudest building I've ever been in, and the only one that could compare would have been the Halifax World Junior Championship. So that is saying something.
Yeah.
I mean, hair standing on end. You don't even want to call the game. You almost want to just allow the sound to jump through the television so the people at home can just feel the energy and the commitment to their team.
Anytime you come into TD Place Arena, you know it's going to be loud. So much passion for this team, for their city. I mean, the "you picked us" chant started towards the end of the game. They're also not afraid to show their bite. Poulen's doing the work herself through neutral ice, gets tied up by McMahon at the final second.
But she has no help there, right? She needs support. When Poulen's on the hunt, or she's got that puck, she needs support because she's just such a gifted distributor, but she'll give it to you, but you got to get it back to her. I mean, she's the shooter, natural goal scorer.
Pointless in her last 2 games. Poulen, she's never gone more than 2 games without registering a point this season. Loose puck, punks right there. It's a save by Desbiens. Just in time, Aaron Desbiens able to make the save on the rebounds. Another great opportunity for Ottawa with the extra play.
But I think this starts on the entry when Poulen's got that puck. It winds up going the other way because she doesn't have support. Now you got sustained pressure in the offensive zone, and the Charge have been recovering pucks. You got Gabby Hughes below the goal line with that takeaway on Boulier, and everyone coming down from high to low. And when you can do that, your toes are facing, coming down towards the net for a shot on net as you see Clark get one off, and a sprawling Stacey trying to negate the grade A opportunity.
You look at all 9 meetings between these two teams. Ottawa's now won 4 of the last 5. No bigger than this one, which can be the most challenging game to win. You go back when they looked to punch their ticket to the playoffs. They took on Minnesota. It was a 3-0 loss here at home, but they got it done in Toronto on the weekend. As that shot low off the outside of the net. Out in front again, it's loose. Who will get there? Venisheva clears it away to safety. Jenner back to middle. Ottawa on the attack. Savalainen leaving the drive. She drops it off for Venisheva. Pulls it back, met by pressure. Dubois lays the body. Battle right in front of the blue line of the Victoire. Montreal goes for a change. Markowski feeds the play to center. Jenner punches it ahead, 2 goals and an assist through her playoff experience. She has said it's been a dream to play in the postseason, to play in a series format, which is still very new to a lot of these athletes.
Yeah, and we spoke to Carter McLeod. She said, yeah, I've never, coached in series, and it's the same for the athletes. When you look at all of the Ottawa Charge right now, and about Victoire, there's not a large body of work, but getting to know your team, the pre-scout, everything is really important. And some of the pre-scout has got to be getting net front against Phillips. I mean, she saw everything last game, and when she didn't, she was able to jump on the pucks and track at the last minute. So try and get bodies in front of her, and I think you got to elevate that puck. She is so quick down low. She moves side to side so fast. I think if you get a second shot opportunity in tight, it's got to go up.
Montreal yet to win at TD Place Arena this season. Yeah, you look at the regular season, they have the best road record. They put up 25 points. 6 of their 12 regulation wins came on the road. It's been difficult for them in the postseason when they're on the road to garner a win. As Markowski takes the body of Stacey, working it down low. Hughes rolls off, has control now. Just a family in attendance throughout this week. Mickey Hughes had a chance to speak with her prior to the game. Excited to cheer on her daughter. In a big game for the Charge as Poulen looking to change the story and bring this game back to her hometown.
Well, things just looking a little bit disconnected for the Victoire, but you do have to credit the Ottawa Charge on this as well, whether it's a hard play below the goal line, and Gabby Hughes is a physical player, but you close quick. You see the bump there. Now all of a sudden you got in, you come in, you're not chasing, but when you think you can get that puck, you're getting it, you're moving it. So you got support right away. Now you got the exit. Even though that pass isn't on, they're not in their zone, and they're up against that Poulen line. And so that is so important. Try and get seconds on their shift. Try and move it more so they're not in your zone. And I think they're doing a real effective job of that so far.
2-on-2 battle in the corner now. Raisa on the ground for Ottawa. Gilgren seeing if she can push this puck along. Up to the blue line. Barnes knows what it takes to win a championship. With the Ohio State Buckeyes, Herm Gardner and Markowski at the other end.
Some exciting times ahead with expansion, draft, and everything, and players getting protected. There's going to be a lot of question marks and so many strong players available. Really exciting stuff.
It's almost like life as we know it for all these teams in the league. It's going to be so different next season. So these teams, these players, the groups and chemistry you've learned, likely all going to change. So you want to enjoy these moments, fans, players, coaches. First two seasons have been really special in the PWHL.
Look at, they've got Youngblom set up right behind Poulin. This is the second time they've done this.
Off the face-off, Youngblom gets the shot, her greatest asset to her game.
That's what they're looking for. I mean, they lead the playoffs right now with a 59% ozone face-off rate, so you got to expect Poulin's looking
out in front, looking for some traffic here. It gets played to the corner. Montreal, a few looks on this shift, led by their captain. Ottawa the other way. Leslie looking for Bach. A great feed for the charge. So good off the rush, but here comes Poulin with her speed. She's got two with her. Poulin shot. Phillips makes the save. We are in Phillips territory. This has been her week. What a ride she has had. You can't forget the work of Emmerich Maschmeyer through the bulk of the regular season, but when Phillips was called upon, she got the job done. And 5 of her 8 starts when Mash went down. Hughes on the far side, takes a look, feeds on the cross, trying to find Emily Clark.
That's a great job by Willoughby to make sure she's tracking back and taking not only the body but the stick. I mean, if the stick is available, you do not have your player.
Clark has 7 points against the Victoire all season long, as 2 assists in the postseason right now. Things are heating up for the Charge. They lead the way at 1-0 in the first period in Game 4 against the Montreal Victoire.
Dearest fans.
Dearest fans.
Dearest fans.
Where do I start?
There are not enough words, but I will try to express how much you mean to me. You have been with me since my beginning. You've been with me since our first puck drop.
You have given me spine-tingling moments,
Life-changing inspiration.
game-altering endurance, all above and beyond my wildest dreams.
Your voices have made me believe
What I've always known to be true.
Determination delivers greatness.
We are here to stay.
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 With you in the stands and by our sides,
There is nothing we can't do.
Together, we launch to lead.
Together, we amplify,
Unify.
exemplify
Dreams for every dreamer across the globe.
Hockey welcomes everyone.
you plus me, all my love.
Forever.
Always.
Well, Spider-Gwen does whatever she can, and if you look at her 26-8 performance last game for that shutout, I mean, she was absolutely outstanding, keeping the Poulin line at bay as well as all of Victoire, whether they were in tight in a grade A area, whether it was a one-timer. She was just really aggressive, but I loved her calmness and her communication. I mean, if you have a goaltender that communicates, it is so much easier as a defender, especially when you lose track of someone backdoor. She's right there telling you exactly what she wants you to do, and she's staring down the barrel 200 feet away of ARD, who made 24 of 25 last game. What a matchup, and why it's such a low-scoring series.
And it was these two in the gold medal game at the World Championship, and Phillips came in for relief when Franco went down. As Ottawa looks to growl and make a play on the offensive zone. And I just think, Cheryl, if you can come in the middle of a gold medal game in the third period, play overtime, and come away with a win for your team and for your country, well, you can take on anything. Very deserving of a Goaltender of the Year finalist award this season for Gwyneth Phillips. She has shown this league, these players, that she is a starting goaltender in this league. As Ambrose lays the hit, Vinicieva comes in for help, but for McMahon. Takes it out wide. McMahon looking for a pass ahead. Her and Hughes, former Duluth teammates, roommates, and now a few short years later, the two reunite. It's their first time ever playing on a line together, but they remain roommates, this time in Ottawa.
Well, and what a game-winning goal for her. I mean, that line is flanked with speed with Emily Clark and McMahon, but they get in on the hunt so they can disrupt play. A reason why they're matched up against the Poulin line, because they can track back. You gotta be able to match step for step to be able to get above her and close quickly so she doesn't get puck touches.
They're a house of 6 girls back in university. Another one of their roommates, Maggie Flaherty of Minnesota. So we'll see if it does become a Charge Frost final and roommates then foes, and so many storylines as we await to see who will have a date with the Frost in the PWHL finals. Poulin lays the body on the rock out in front. Phillips gets the toe there, but here comes Stacy. Her shot gets blocked. We knew this line was going to give it their all. Corey Chevry saying it's all about commitment. That's the secret to success for her team tonight. Stacy protecting out in front, tries to get the shot off, gets taken down by Bell.
You can almost see when Stacey's going to do the sling and the wraparound. She loves to come around on her backhand. Anytime she's below the goal line, you're looking for that power move, but that initial chance comes off the dump-in recovery. Over the course of the season, that was Montreal's bread and butter, recovering a ton of pucks on the dump-in.
McMahon takes it out wide, hits the skates of Gregg. LaBelle looking for the loose puck. Derek Gregg offside the call. She had room.
Well, a team that recovers the puck really well, and right now they're second in the playoffs in it. And once you get that puck in, you have to have speed and pace coming down the other side. And when you do, that is the time to do it. No point in putting it in when everyone is static at the blue line. You can see Poulin get the puck on her stick and move it to the middle of the ice. She looks for that all of the time. And Laura Stacey, we talk about bread and butter. I mean, the power move to the net. We typically see it on her backhand. That time it's the forehand. When the coverage is all low like that, because Stacey and Poulin are below the goal line, Ottawa will need to block shots if that puck goes low to high. That is where defense have to activate, but they have to find ways to get the pucks through to the net.
Terrell not afraid to block shots, leads the playoffs right now with 10. There's been Ashton Bell, Jocelyn Larocque that have been relied upon a lot to defend Poulin's line throughout the playoffs. Gregg at center has Grant with her. Squeezed out as the Charge gain a hold of it. Shots 5-5 now in the first period. A different story than what we saw in Game 3. Ottawa put up 12 shots on net in the first period, tied for most in the first period of playoff hockey. They dominated, and well, right now, the score sheet is really what matters, and they are up 1-0.
Well, and one of the areas as Poulin comes back out here is face-offs, right? And look at Youngbloom. Just lined up right behind her yet again as a left-handed shot, but she can also go forward because Stacy is a right-handed shot, so can keep the coverage guessing off the face-off alignment.
McMahon, mega fan in attendance here. Nice sign made. Off the face-off, where Poulin continues to dominate, 56.7%. I think she's crossed out 100 face-offs now in the playoffs.
And then it goes to 51.7 with O'Neill. But then there's a big drop-off in your third and fourth line centers right now. Carla McLeod will have to look for those matchups for a possession game.
Who's been tasked at the other end for Ottawa to take on Poulin. D'Arcangelo has been really successful. Stacy gets taken down along the blue line. Youngbloom tries for the shot. Ashton Bell lays the hit. She's certainly been playing physical. Wide with Stacy back in Game 3. As Jenner has speed for Ottawa. Jenner takes a look. Ambrose with the better stick. To the blue line for Terrelova. A minute and a half remaining. Long shot. Hits the backboards as O'Neill picks it up. Jenner takes a look. To the blue line it will go. Markowski plays it. In full control, Ottawa back in the offensive zone. Vinisheva down for Jenner, who gets a piece, sends it on net. Vinisheva has certainly been around it throughout the playoffs. Still looking for her first playoff goal.
Brianne Jenner has 2 goals, and if you drew a line from the dot to dot, that is kind of where she has been very, very effective. In particular on the power player with the player advantage. Brianne Jenner, we called her the generator when she needs to get a goal. This is an athlete that plays her best and finds a way And the captain got it done, and you look at that power play goal, that seam was wide open for her, and it's a one-timer because she's playing her off flank on the power play. And again, all about recovery, getting pucks up north, and that's her on that recovery. And again, almost in a similar fashion in the opening game, in her opening power play marker, with the player advantage, she gets the equalizer before the marathon, shall I call it. And by the way, I did not bring snacks. Reverse psychology.
Oh, I've got snacks for you, Pounder. Don't worry.
Say it, girl. Don't say it.
I'm always coming prepared. I blame Julia Teixeira. She was the one after game one that put it in to the atmosphere.
You see that face-off play as it comes back to Serdachny, a backhand pass, but doesn't have enough mustard on it. But yeah, when you look at it, Savalainen's going to get it. And I've liked Savalainen's game as well, just from a defensive standpoint. You know, she's steady back there, but when she does jump in, she has a blistering shot, a monster of a shot.
At +3 right now in the playoffs, time for that's plus-minus in the postseason. Ellen McLeod really liking her tandemship with Boyd, too. Aren't afraid to have fun. Also big bodies and can play physical.
And there's a cross-corner jump yet again. And
to the blue line for Ambrose. She'll walk the line. Ambrose tries to tee one up. Out in front. Phillips holds the post. Up with Taven. Here with Ambrose. Maureen Murphy and Gardner out there for the trio up front. To the blue line, Taven across for Ambrose. Katie Taven calls for it. Ambrose going to go in, and her shot save made. Phillips finds it just in time. 3.9 remaining in the first.
I think the approach here for the Victoire is put everything on net. Short side, dead angle. Let's see if we can catch Gwyneth Phillips off of her post. Nice work by Breen to get that puck up high, and it's going to work its way to Ambrose. I mean, this is where she has a gift. She is so smart on the blue line. She pauses and waits for a second just to get that high forward to bite. Once she does, she's able to move to the middle of the ice, and she's one of the best at getting shots through to the net.
Few seconds left. Poulin will take the draw for Montreal.
Well, now it's reverse, right? So now you've got a left-handed shot. Oh, they're going to switch now.
Youngblood comes in left-handed. Final seconds of the first period. They win it back. Poulet's shot gets blocked by Ashton Bell. Stacey, a final effort. The buzzer sounds. The Victoire will have to try again.
I felt that the Victoire had a little bit of pace to end the period, but Ottawa certainly had the bulk of it. Just felt like they had their legs and they were in on the hunt. You saw some rush play, and of course, what a goal by Rebecca Leslie to beat Renee Debien off of the Meiksna shot.
Rebecca Leslie, homegrown here in the nation's capital, has the charge in the lead, 1-0. Send things over to Kelly Gregg with our first intermission. We'll recap the Minnesota-Toronto series as the Frosts have punched their ticket to the PWHL Finals.
welcome into your first intermission report. Montreal behind Ottawa 1-0 after 20 minutes. I'm joined now by Lena Youngbloom. Lena, there's been a bit of a line in the blender. You're with Poulet and Stacey now. What do you think you can add to that line?
To get them the puck as much as I can and be in front of the net too. So, of course, I can play and make plays with them, but my job is to give them the puck and work my ass off.
We knew it was do or die tonight. What's the mentality in that room?
No, it's like you said, it's do or die. Like, we have to win today to keep playing. So the only thing we have in mind is to win this game.
We knew Ottawa was going to come out strong. They want to win here at home. What do you have to do in the second and third to turn things around?
They usually have a good first period, so I think we can play better in the second, get the puck out over our zone and keep the momentum in the game and keep shooting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we know that Minnesota will be in the PWHL finals. What we don't know is, will it be Montreal or will it be Ottawa? Well, that could be decided tonight. But let's look back at the Minnesota-Toronto series with Daniela Ponticelli and Becky Keller.
Minnesota entered Game 4 of its PWHL semifinal playoff series against Toronto with a 2-1 series lead, meaning they just needed one win and they were in. And in Minnesota fashion, Game 4 went to overtime, but this time the home team was able to get it done.
Well, and it was Nicole Hensley. They made a goaltender change, and I thought she was outstanding. She was good in Game 1. They went to Rooney for 2 and 3. They go back to Hensley for this game. She made some key saves at some huge times. It was that glove hand. She had to see through traffic a lot. She ended a lot of plays with that gloves to give her team the face-off. But the big saves and the big moments, especially in overtime, she made a huge save on Haley Skamura on a breakaway in overtime that allowed her team to go back down the other end of the ice and eventually get this win. Toronto threw all sorts of pressure at her. I thought they owned that overtime period. Nicole Hensley was exceptional.
Making 26 saves in the effort. That is her first career playoff win against the Scepters, but fourth overall. She has come in clutch. She helped them win the Walter Cup Game 5 of those finals last year. Now, Captain Kendall Coyne-Schofield coming into this game, the only captain without a goal in the playoffs so far, but then she's able to make it count, able to get on the board first, and then get the all-important equalizer in the third.
Well, she was a difference maker. And in Game 1, we said, who has to be big for this team? Well, their captain has to be big. She's got lots of speed. She is tenacious. She's a pit bull down low. She had chances all series for this team. And she finally gets on the board here tonight. Why does she get on the board? Well, because she drives the net. She goes to the net and she gets rewarded for it. Taylor Heisey with the shot. Coyne-Schofield, where she was half of the night, which is net front. And she gets the tip on the puck. And then, of course, she gets the big tying goal as well as she battles down low. This seems to be her office. We said it was Blair Turnbull's office as well. It was Coyne-Schofield's office, and she got rewarded twice.
Second career multi-goal game for Kendall Coyne-Schofield. Now, Taylor Heisey, playoff MVP last season, came into this game the playoffs assist leader with 5, picks up her 6th, keeps adding to that tally. But guess what? Her coach wanted her to shoot, and what a time for her to capitalize on her shot.
Well, isn't it just that? You got to listen to your coach. She does just that. She shoots the puck not once but twice. Now, one goes in off of Coyne-Schofield, but the second one, well, she makes no mistake about it as she comes in late into the zone, fires this puck back the other way. She's got a hard, heavy shot, but this one, it's accuracy as she goes blocker side through traffic. There's no chance for CJ to make that save, and she's the OT hero.
Second career game-winning goal in playoffs for Heisey. And of course, post-game, let's listen in now to the locker room celebration.
Guys, way to battle back. We literally never had the lead till we won. And that's like, you gotta win that way sometimes, so way to stick with it. Sorry about the goal in the first minute, third. Way to battle. I love you guys. On to the next.
Yeah! Exactly what she says. Let's go get it. We can do it times 2. Let's go.
Those 3 wins is what they needed in the semifinal round to advance for the second straight here to the PWHL finals. Of course, they're the defending now Walter Cup champions, and they'll be looking to face the winner of Ottawa or Montreal. That series still in play.
Yes, who will Minnesota face? Well, that's the big question tonight. My Team, My Sign, presented by Canadian Tire, proud founding partner of the PWHL. The crowd is absolutely fired up here in TD Place. It is so loud and the fans so creative for both Montreal there and for Ottawa. Of course, I've got Manny, some love for Men and McMahon. All going on here at TD Place as Ottawa leads Montreal 1-0.
Check out new live episodes of Jocks and Jills with Tessa and Julia after every playoff game. Catch up on all the action, insight, and more. Listen wherever you get your podcasts and follow them across social media at Jocks and Jills. Jocks and Jills, the official podcast of the PWHL.
Welcome back to your first intermission report. 1-0 Ottawa after 20 minutes here in the nation's capital. We knew Ottawa was going to be coming out of the gates strong. They wanted to wrap this series up here at home in Game 4. Let's bring in Kenzie Lone and Cheryl Pounder. And ladies, Ottawa knew they wanted what they wanted, and they've gone up early.
Well, we saw in Game 3 how critical Ottawa's been in the first periods. They dominated play back at home in Game 3, period number 1. They've done it again here for the first time in this series. Ottawa finds them in the lead hanging through the first intermission.
Yeah, and you have to look at the atmosphere in here and how unbelievable it is. I know I was mentioning in broadcast one of the loudest buildings I've ever been in, and it's almost as the atmosphere is going to the legs, and especially when you're fatigued, right? In a series like this, especially when you're coming off of overtimes, etc., you want that juice to go to your legs. So it's like another attacker on the ice, and it's a reason why I think that they're pouncing on pucks. Their structure's been great, coming back through the middle, and they're turning pucks over in the offensive zone, and to some degree, you're looking at the Victoire who cannot get out because of it. So you gotta thank the youngsters in the crowd wearing the jerseys, doing the dances, waving their towels, because their energy is bringing it, and now the Chargers are bringing it.
And they're in the lead, 1-0, courtesy of Rebecca Leslie, and great assist by Anna Meixner. 2-on-1, and they were able to find the back of the net against, this is such a good team off the rush, and they showed it in the first period.
Yeah, and you got to make sure you don't get caught deep, and that's exactly what happened to the Victoire. They got caught deep, and it's going to be Murphy and Barine that wind up getting caught low, but it's going to be the rebound of Anne-Renee Desbiens that starts it off, just not controlling them very well. And here it is, when you get caught deep, you're 2 below the goal line, that puck pops is out, and you can see Gardner's at F3, but she is not able to get that puck. So what happens? The shot off the pad was similar to rebound that we just saw, comes right off, and Meixa is able to hit that right pad, and guess who comes down on it? It is going to be Rebecca Leslie, and she ignites the crowd as well, Kenzie.
No team has scored more first period goals than the Ottawa Charge. That is their 21st of the season, but the way Montreal's been getting in the offensive zone has been on dumping so far in the first period.
Yeah, well, they haven't been connected, and I feel like there's just sort of a disconnect right now, and they're not showing a lot of speed. But the one area that they've sort of shown throughout the regular season is that if they put the puck in deep, they can establish a forecheck and they can establish pressure. I would expect to see this from lines 2, 3, and 4 right now, not so much the Poulin line, although they're having a hard time playing off the rush as well. But they are shooting from everywhere once they get down in and around the goal line. And you can see that they're shooting from dead angles, they're working the puck high, and just the thought process around get pucks on net and get bodies in front of Phillips.
It is 1-0 for the Charge after the first 20 minutes. Victoire, though, blocking a lot here tonight. It's been Taylor Lowe of the Charge that's led the playoffs in singular block shots. But collectively, the Victoire are putting their bodies on the line in a must-win game as they need to force Game 5 to keep their hopes of going to the PWHL Finals alive. Will the Charge an 8-4 record when leading after the first? Looking to put that into action into period number 2.
Joined now by Ottawa head coach Carla McLeod. Carla, we've seen some frustration from Montreal's top line. Have you been able to shut them down?
Well, I just think they're ultra competitive and they're trying to get their job done. So our job is to do that, to shut them down. We just keep working hard as a team, and got a lot of game left to play, but we'll keep digging in.
You spoke up pregame a little bit about your kind of coaching philosophy and leading by example from your team. What do you mean by that? What does it mean to lead by example as a coach?
Well, I think I learned from some of the best coaches in the game, whether it be Wally Kozak, Mel Davidson, or Mark Johnston, that at the end of the day, your team will reflect your energy. And I look at this group in front of us, and they make it so fun to be standing here. So we're just going to enjoy this moment and go at it.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
And for Carla McLeod, all smiles as her team is in the lead 1-0. But from player to coach and putting all the lessons you've learned As an athlete and coach as well, into a big game like this, you can tell she just trusts her players and wants them to have fun.
Well, if you look the latter half of their season, I mean, it's muscle memory. All of a sudden you win a close game, and then all of a sudden you recall that in the next close game that you're in, and it's learning how to win, Kenz. It's a tough thing to do, and which makes it tough to close out these games, but Ottawa started with a ton of pace, showing their speed, and I don't mean speed in just their legs. I mean, speed is also puck movement.
Ottawa, a team that faced adversity early on in the regular season, just one win in their first 5 games. They had to learn how to close out games, how to manage the highs and lows that come with the game. They are showing that experience. They peaked at the right time, and they have earned every step of the way here. There's a shot. Poulin looking to even the scoring, as she will continue to be top threat for the Victoire. Bell brings it in, former forward. Spent her freshman year as a forward with Duluth. Gets punched by Poulin as they reverse the play. Youngblood, her shot into the belly of Phillips. Youngblood saying to Kelly Gregg in the intermission, it's up to her to feed Stacey, feed Poulin, but also her greatest asset is her shot, as Phillips was tested on that rush.
Well, we've seen her play with Sweden, right? So often, and she also loves to be in and around the middle of the ice and down low in the paint, and this is one of their rush plays, and you can see pulling it to the outside, left-handed shot, she's got the dot, she's taken it, almost has to look for that right pad herself if she can sling it across, because there's no one net front there, so Phillips is able to hold on.
Off the backhand, Dubois' shot just high. Venisheva takes the body in the corner, Dubois back to the blue line, Ambrose keeps it in. Long shot tipped in front by O'Neill. Great look for Kristen O'Neill, who always elevates her game in the playoffs. Willoughby as well has earned top minutes.
Well, I mean, Kristen O'Neill had that goal and an assist in the opening game.
O'Neill, Dubois, you look at that one win Montreal has, well, in their whole playoff history,
yes,
and who stepped up? It was Dubois, it was O'Neill, it was their depth, and that's because Ottawa has just done such a good job of blocking out that top line that came into the playoffs, having contributed to 45% of the team scoring in the regular season. D'Arcangelo on net. That's another trade who would have thought would pay off in the goal-scoring department so long down the stretch. Lexi Agia fans were disappointed to see her leave this Ottawa Charge team. But D'Arcangelo, a welcomed addition, her leadership over the years at the Toronto Six, but now her goal scoring and coming up big in critical moments.
Well, she's also been key in the face-off dot for the Ottawa Charge, 67%, and that's massive for a team that had to really work on that over the course of the season.
Mike's that Leslie back at it, looking for Savalainen this time. Another good look for the Charge. Larocque finishing the play, brings it in out wide, takes a look. Larocque tries for the wraparound. Boreen can't clear it. Clark challenges along the boards as Ottawa will retreat to pick up the puck.
Well, it's going to be Boreen, Murphy, and Gardner that get stuck down there again, down low in their own zone. But it's that third line with Mrazova, Leslie, and Meiksna just showing a lot of offensive flair and carrying it in as well.
Barnes goes Z to D. Wilgren can't get through McMahon. LaBelle keeping it in. Chipping this puck up high. Gregg, other pass looking for Gramentes. Ottawa on the reverse play. Hughes moving this into the corner. Asked her what would it mean to her to play the Minnesota Frost in the PWHL finals. Being a Minnesota native, she said, yeah, it'd be pretty cool. She's got a lot of family back home. Hasn't seen them much since moving north to Ottawa. Loves any chance she can go back and play the Frost. Craig brings it in over the line. LaBelle on net, it will go.
Phillips has to find a puck, and anytime that puck goes low to high, and it was Erin Ambrose, and it's in the high slot. O'Neill's coming through the middle of the ice, just in and around the dot, but she's pretty high, and she taps it down with the toe of her blade, and it does take on another angle, so Phillips has to be quick to track that with her right pad. Kristen O'Neill, you were talking about her, Kenzie, and the goal and assist coming up big in big games. You saw at the World Championship, of course, getting on the board a few times, and in that second game here with that goal and assist effort with the primary on Dubois' game winner.
O'Neill started the season so great, a goal, 3 assists in her first 7 games, and then it really dropped off after that. But she comes up big in critical moments last year in the playoffs. 2 goals for her, both on the power play, and that's where Montreal did a bulk of their goal scoring. Last year was on the power play. Youngblood takes the body up against Jenner. That one holds a record for most goals by a Swede at a World Championship. She put up 7 in 2023. Vinisheva protects. Sends it back. Quick change.
Well, Vinisheva's type of player, not only is she tenacious, but she's one of those dynamic athletes that can shift her weight really quickly to create space.
Bach drops it back. Serdachny pulls it aside, draws the penalty as well. The Ottawa Charge are going to head to the power play. Phillips waits for the nods. Serdachny draws the penalty. Tripping will be the call as the Ottawa Charge head to the power play.
Well, and you talk about depth. I was just talking about the Mikes and Mraz about Leslie line, but noticeable has been Bach, Vasco, and Serdachny as well. And when they're in the offensive zone, I mean, this is your fourth line. You see the little
Montreal
triangle on the
penalty,
entry.
number 43, 2 minutes.
And Serdachny is going to pull it to the backhand. And one of the areas that her game is effective is she can shield the puck. She's going to shield and pull to her backhand, and it's going to force O'Neill not to move her feet, just gets her stick in the skates to send the Charge to their first power play of the game.
1 for 7 throughout this series. Own power play goal was Brianne Jenner back in game 1. Power play brought to you by Royal Tire Towel Paper Towel. Power through tough messes. McMahon, her shot steered away. Hughes, loose puck into the legs of Clark. She picks it up, leaves it back for Hughes. Keppel takes the body. Clark finds the blue line. Ashton Bell walks to middle. Bell taking a look. In full control here. Clark with the one-time shot. Blocked in front. Keppel's in pain. Ottawa moving it ahead. This time it's Gabby Hughes, top of the docks. To middle. Bell. Reverse pass to Jocelyn Larocque. She'll take a look. Low shot. Hits a few bodies into the far corner. McMahon will scan. Finds Larocque. Back to center for Bell. Outworks the pressure as Ottawa keeps this puck up high. Larocque's going to jump, and she'll go for it. Desbiens with a great save. Hughes cuts in. Ambrose plays this stick and keeps it at bay.
That's a nice play by Erin Ambrose, because she also wants to make sure she's not giving up the back door. She recognizes that Anne Renee is on that strong side post, and it's a tap in.
D'Arcangelo, a lane, she'll take it, but it's blocked.
You speak about power play production here, Kens, and it's certainly up this year versus last. You mentioned 1 for 7 for Ottawa, 2 for 8 for Montreal, but just look at last year, 5 for 63, 7.9% in the playoffs, and 2025, 10 for 30 in the playoffs, so 33%. That is a massive difference in terms of the uptick in production with the player advantage.
Officials having a discussion at center ice right now.
You have to look at the no escape rule as well as part of that too, and can't change when a penalty has been called, so sometimes that can factor into the production and the uptick.
Well, you think as well, I mean, Montreal had 3 power play goals last season. In the playoffs this season, right now from Montreal, they have 2 power play goals, but only 5 total. To think of the other series between Toronto and Minnesota, Minnesota has more goals by defenders than Montreal has as a team right now. Montreal's has 5 goals total. Minnesota's D collectively at for 6 right now.
Well, in the playoffs, often you do see defense uptick go up because there's so much tightened space out there, and you know, it closes up quickly. So if play is down low, everyone's kind of swarming, right? They're protecting the middle. So now all of a sudden that high ice is available, and a lot of the time, whether it's a trailer off the rush because you pushed the coverage back on the entry, or whether it's the high play. I see Corey Chevry speaking with the officials.
May have been an early whistle. Little information we have received. Not quite sure right now what they're reviewing.
Not sure whether they thought Desbiens had the puck.
It was at Ambrose. She actually blocked it, so an early whistle.
So Corey Chevry is saying, you know, I don't want that puck inside, and they're saying, oh, that's where it is.
Face-off underway here. 150 seconds to go in this Charge power play. O'Neill in the box for tripping. Barnes picks up the puck, shorthanded for the Victoire. Takes it out wide. We've seen 1 shorthanded goal scored over the course of the PWHL history in the playoffs. It was Zumway goal. It was also an empty netter last season. Charge having 4 shorthanded goals scored this season, 2 of those game winners. Jenner comes in, brings it out wide. Under 30 seconds to go on this power play. Teralova jumps down. A one-time Vinisheva. Blocker saved by Desbiens. She's met her match. A great save for Desbiens. Mrazova taking her time in the corner. Moves it up high for Teralova. Vinisheva looking on. Ottawa with great patience. Final seconds of this power play. Mrazova to Taylorova. She'll load her shot wide. Out comes O'Neill, and we're back to 5-on-5. Ottawa landing one shot on that power play. Shots 11-9 now in favor of the Victoire. A must-win game. They need game 5, and they need to win it. They want to move on to the finals. Only one spot remains. Who will have a date with the Minnesota Frost in the PWHL finals? Time will tell, and Ottawa wants it to be them. Leslie has this team up by 1.
Well, you see that the deployment of the bench as well for Carla McLeod is something. I love this play. Teralova on Laura Stacey, and now all of a sudden you move that puck and you're able to get it out. You catch them, but it's also Sheann D'Arcangelo just with that tip. That might have been going in, actually. It was looking like it was going to the far side of the net, the right side of Renee Desbiens, but D'Arcangelo gets a stick on it and redirects it just a little bit wide.
Kayla Barnes flips it up. Verdacny drew the penalty, tries to glove it down.
Well, she's gloving that down because she's in strong position again, and that's the structure. You know, you're above that next player who can get that puck, so you come down on it. And again, even if the Victoire get it, they're not moving.
1-0 charge lead against the Victoire. It's game 4 of the 2025 PWHL playoffs presented by Shark Ninja.
Proudly carrying a nation on its shoulders, Ottawa advances each day, forging connections and championing progress. The game doesn't wait for those who stand still. It rewards those who have the courage to keep fighting, keep striving, keep leading. We are electricity on the ice, surging ahead. Only ever in one direction. Forever forward.
We have our nominees for Goaltender of the Year, and 2 of them are on the ice tonight. Montreal's Renee Desbiens, Boston's Erin Frankel, and despite only playing part of the season, Ottawa's Gwyneth Phillips also got the nod. Nominees for Forward and Defender of the Year have already been announced, and next week we'll learn who is up for Rookie and Coach of the Year, along with the Billie Jean King MVP Award. The PWHL award ceremony is here in Ottawa on June 25th. Kenzie?
And how awesome would that be if Gwyneth Phillips was to win it, to receive that award in her home market here in Ottawa? Frankel, back-to-back finalist, was in the running last year. Kristen Campbell came away with the award last season.
The goaltending has been so tight in this series, and 24 of 25 that Renee Desbiens made, you know, last game, but it was bettered by the 26 save performance by Ottawa and Gwyneth Phillips, and just a bit of a track meet in terms of trying to get these goaltenders to move east-west. You saw it with the Leslie goal. You know, it was a rebound that was kicked out.
Desbiens, the only goaltender, register 6 straight wins this season. In on the board battle, Mrazova spins away, looking for Boyd. Tripped up, Victoire the other way as Mrazova keeps this at center. Murphy takes it in for Montreal. Charge with numbers along the boards. Boreen hoping to make a pass over. Youngblom steals it away. Had 2 shots in the first period leading Youngblom. Last game in game 3 was our first multi-shot performance since March 23rd, so certainly heating up down the stretch in the playoffs.
And there's a prime example. Poulin loves to pass through the slot, and she's looking for someone in the slot when she's at the goal line there.
Canadian Tire is proud to be a founding partner of the Professional Women's Hockey League.
What a beauty!
Together, we're building a stronger future for women's hockey on and off the ice.
So Boston remains the only team to have won Game 1 of the playoffs and go on to win their series. Toronto earned their first win. Minnesota went on this season just like last season as well. Boston a sweep last season against the Victoire. We'll see what's in store between the Charge and the Victoire in 2025 as Poulin looks for the far side pass. She connects with Barnes. Clark off the glass and out. Ottawa heading the other way. Hannah Wilgren takes a look here, looking for O'Neill on the stretch pass. Clark in tight. Barnes with patience. McMahon chasing. Wilgren now has some room. She'll choose to flip it in. Crossing the walk. We're going to make a head-up play as they go Charge, go Chance Stone inside TD Place Arena. Jenner protects, takes it in, out wide on net, it will go. Dave Bam will make the save to get the whistle.
Well, the defensive structure is everything, and it starts in the offensive zone on the face-off, and it's just making sure that you're in the right position because you've tracked back. Now, Emily Clark's back against the Poulin line. I don't mind this. Get it off the glass, get it all the way down to their zone. Now they're changing, right? So now they haven't been a threat that entire shift because of your posture and managing the puck.
Boulier heads back for it. Gramenta is looking up ice for Montreal. Leading the way. Now Jenner for Ottawa. Has Vinishova with her. Jenner feeds it across. A great pass from Brianne Jenner. Ottawa looking to build off of this momentum. Taylorlova down low. Outworks the pressure. Dubois with the watchful eye. Taylorlova, long shot here. Desbiens makes the save, and there's no rebound this time.
Well, they're going to get in the zone with a Jenner rush, and she knows how to drive the dot as well, but she can also create space, and you can see just coming in here, and it's a heads-up play, a little bit of a stall, and driving the net is Vinishova. That puck's going to make its way high, and you've got Taylorlova getting it off, but look at the inside track that Darkangelo has on Taven because she's rolled off. Taven was in behind her, but that goal after the shot, if that puck comes off to the right of Desbiens, it is in the back of the net because of the positioning of Darkangelo.
Face off in the offensive zone for the Charge. Victoire's last goal would have been Dubois in the quadruple overtime, scoring hard to come by in this series. Testament to the great goaltending, and top lines looking to find the score sheet. Here's Poulin, robbed by Phillips. Gwyneth Phillips denying the Victoire captain.
Oh, that's something Youngblood is going to do too. She is going to get in on it. You can see Poulin pulling Emily Clark out of it. But Youngblood is going to be the one that's going to be pretty scrappy and with an edge in and around the blue stuff. If anything is there, that is what she does best. She is so good in tight spaces. We've seen it over the years with the Sweden national team. But this is on the entry here. They're actually in excellent positioning in terms of the Charge. Just unable to get it above the blue line. And that puck comes back to Poulin. I love that she elects to take this shot. She sees Youngblood going to the net, so she lets it off quickly, and everyone in around it says, you know what, I'm going to find a way to get in and create havoc around Phillips.
From the blue line shot, again off the tip of Phillips's glove.
But you've seen a few go off of the glove right now, and that's got to be a point. I said earlier, I would be going high.
Bell shot, saved by Desbiens. Another strong drive from the Ottawa Charge. Youngblood looking for Barnes. Youngblood, SDHL MVP in 2024. Who earned it the year before? Well, Ottawa's Anna Meixner. In 2021, it was Ottawa's Katarina Mrazova. Long lineage of SDHL MVPs now over in the PWHL. Clark finds some space. She'll take it. Out wide, Clark using her speed to the backhand. Desbiens holds the line as she looks for this rebound. The Charge are coming. They lead the way 1-0 in Game 4.
In this city, we celebrate the spirit of competition, the joy of the game, and the pursuit of greatness.
Desire is etched in our DNA.
Across our islands and our waters, we dream of bringing glory to a city that demands it. We were born to battle.
We call you to the ice and resolve to defend it for the glory of the team, the game, and Montreal.
Well, trading chances here in Ottawa, and it's going to start with Ashton Bell on the back end. And just on the entry, you can see that this play is going to come off of Renee Desbiens as she's activated through the middle of the ice. And then how about Emily Clark? Speed through the neutral zone. Look at the shield. If you look at her bottom half, the way that she's able to shield and get that cut back in. I mean, she's on her strong side, so it's almost more difficult to have that power move to the net. And then a little bit of the melee ensues as well. Emily Clark doing her thing.
Has come up so big in her point production throughout the playoffs. Had the game-winning goal, game-winning assist rather on Dirk Angelo's game-winning goal back in Game 1, and assisted on Jenner's tying goal in Game 2.
Doing great things in the community as well. Just made her first $1,000 donation to the Ottawa Hospital Foundation from her proceeds of her beer.
Gotta love it.
Brought it brewery.
Mike's now from the blue line. Mike's another body landed. Up against the Victoire as Leslie plays the puck. Forward battle underway in front of Ottawa's bench. Savalainen pulls it back off the skates of Mrazova. She'll spin it back.
She was on one edge at one point, losing her balance and found it right away.
Venishova all alone, saved by Desbiens. The rebound's there. Jenner, can she bring it home? And Renee Desbiens, how did she do it? Without her stick now as Ottawa keeps pressing. Ashton Bell. Far side, the rock shot here. Desbiens back with her paddle. A great jump by Venishova. She's been around it.
Well, this is as good as it gets. If you're talking about the stretch pass or you're talking about the speed to get the entry, you can see the frustration knowing the opportunity that she had. Look at Mrazova here. She's off balance, finds her balance, turns the other way and says, take this sauce of a gift. And look at that shield to cut to the inside of the ice, making sure you feel the pressure on that left hip to be able to get to the open ice in the sprint. Look at that. Stay on your skates. See if you can beat Renee Desbiens. Five-hole who's challenging right at the top of her crease, saying, if you're going to beat me one-on-one, you're going to have to put it by me. What a chance. End-to-end. Mrazova to Venishova, and then Renee Desbiens saying, no way.
Lenda's team in points, a goal production as well. Venishova looking for her first playoff marker. Has 2 assists so far, but you look at the 2 goals she scored through the regular season against Montreal. Both were to take the lead. Incredible goal score. A great look for her in Game 4. Barnes in down low. Stacey tries to glove it ahead. Phillips pushes it further. Barnes can't keep it in. Delayed offside on the way as the arm goes up.
You see Jocelyn Rock just putting it to an area, just trying to get it back into the Victoire's defensive end. You know, if they have possession of the puck, Poulin does not, and that's exactly what they want.
Dubois on the puck for Montreal to Murphy. Ashton Bell fires it right back. Well, you think of the road that Ottawa has had. They faced adversity early, but then coming to the playoffs, they lose one of their top defenders in Jincy Rose. LTIR now, an upper body injury. I saw her skating this morning in a non-contact jersey, so good to see she is out on the ice. And also no Maschmeyer, two big pieces to this Charge lineup that have gone down over the course of the season. And they continue to surge ahead, and they are playing their best hockey.
Some good one-on-ones out here as well. I mean, Jocelyn Larocque going toe-to-toe. You've seen Aaron Ambrose on the other side. Just so much strong defensive hockey, and you got to lay it on the line here. And you can see the foot race here. Gardner is a fast player, so a little bit of a push inside to be able to get position, just to get hands on puck, knowing that Terralova is open on the other side of the ice. And it's just a veteran play when you know that a fast player is on your tail. You got to use your body to gain the position, not let her in for just a moment, to be able to change the point of exit.
Gardner just 2 shots on net in her last 2 games. You go back to game 1 of the playoffs, she put up 4. It's a bit of a drop off there. Of course, the minutes played when you rest Poulet and Stacey certainly alters some of those statistics. Mrazova pulls it in tight. Heinz Markowski on a quick pass down low. Charge out shooting the Victoire, 14-12. Has Youngbloom shot, gets blocked ahead. Under 7 to go in the second period. Charge for the first time headed into the first intermission with the lead.
Nice play by Bouillier to keep that puck in as well.
It's their second first period goal in the playoffs, and a bunch of the goal scoring in the third and final frame.
Well, you're seeing this team at the Victoire with their backs up against the wall. We'll see if there's any more adjustments made here, but team that's back is up against the wall. You'd expect that there would be a number 29 that is going to be fighting for position all over the ice, and she's back on it right now. And you're seeing some changes. Greg is up there now on that left flank with her and Stacey. I'm still waiting to see Abby Barine. You know, I think we've seen that throughout the year. We've seen it work. It's having the IQ also to play with Poulin and be able to get her the puck, right? Best player in the world needs those puck touches, and she's so good off of it. She will find pockets even when she's a marked player, and Carla McLeod talked about that. You got to defend her in layers, and everyone on your bench has to be aware of when she's on the ice.
Lone goal in the playoffs coming on the power play for Poulin. 5 goals now against the Charge over the course of this season. Barine has had a goal in against the Charge as well in the regular season. That was back when they first meant to open the 2024-2025 season. Stacey gets by 1. A diving play by Laura Stacey. The Victoire digging in deep, engaging into some desperate hockey. Another big collision along the board. Stacey picks up the puck, takes a look, battled by Ashton Bell, and Bell's successful. Pushes Stacey to center, but she's not done. Penalty on the way. The Victoire are going to go to the power play. So Stacey drawing the penalty. Clark's off to the box for Ottawa.
You know, it's interesting, not many penalties being called in this game. And this one's going to be a 2-minute trip. And you can see Laura Stacey coming through the middle of the ice. Clark is right there getting the stick under the skates of Stacey. And it's interesting here, whether or not a timeout could be taken.
Victoire to the power play when we return to the nation's capital. Well, just one spot remains in the PWHL Finals, the date with Minnesota. So if Ottawa was to win today or Sunday, this is how it would shake out. The game schedule. Tickets will go on sale tomorrow at noon. You can visit the pwhl.com/tickets to secure yours today. If Montreal is to win, forcing that Game 5, well, that'll go back to Place Bell, 7 p.m. puck drop. Tickets available for that game now online. As we welcome you back inside TD Place Arena, the Victoire on the power play.
And well-positioned timeout as well, or not timeout, or TV timeout, because Poulin had just come off the ice and she was tired. That line was tired, so you get that TV timeout, and it's a built-in timeout, if you will, without using it.
This power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel Paper Towel, powered through tough messes. Shot there, loose puck, Hughes picks it up. Gabby Hughes, a long stretch as the Charge make the clear. Montreal 2 for 8 on the power play. Throughout this playoff series, both those power play goals back in Game 1, it was Murphy and Poulin. Here's a chance, blocked in front, a great stick by Vasco. Marie-Philippe Poulin into the corner, Larocque gets there first, off the glass, can't get by Poulin. Passes it off to Ambrose. Montreal looking to set up this power play. Snaps it across to Stacey. Takes a look for Ambrose. Ambrose still looking for her first goal of the year. Her shot just long. Dubois picking it up down low. Pops out loose. Ambrose keeps it in. Stacey scanning. Leslie watching on as Poulin moves it back to Ambrose. Montreal keeping it to the outside. Stacey, Barnes in the slot. Poulin, her angle, takes it. Blocked in front. A minute on the Victoire power play. Down by 1 in an elimination game. Stacey looks on. Barnes all alone. Passes it off. Poulin tees it up. She'll just miss. The captain, a great look. Another look. One-time shot, Phillips to Taz. Barnes just wide. Well, Victoire have had some chances. These shots just wide. A new look to this power play. Feeding Barnes in the slot. Bumping it off to Poulin. Some great looks. The lanes are there.
Well, yeah, you see Poulin and Barnes. I mean, Barnes a right-handed shot, though, so she's got to put a backhand into Poulin, and you got to wonder if that was a left-handed player in the bumper spot, whether they could get it to her quicker with a little more zip, but Barnes, nonetheless, does a nice job of getting it to Poulin for a couple of one-timers right from her sweet spot. Just doesn't convert.
This fans proud of their group. A great kill for the Charge, with Victoire landing 3 shots on that power play as we return to even strength, and the crowd behind the Charge in the second period.
This place is unbelievable, and a power play that was dominant. You can see into Kayla Barnes, and instead of electing to take that shot, you know where she's going, to the best sniper in the world, who's the most clutch with the lights on her, and that one with Dubois net front is able to get a stick on it, but Phillips is tracking. You know where option A is right now. It's going to be to number 29.
Just 10 players have recorded a point through 3 games for the Victoire, the fewest among all playoff teams. They need to score. Grant Mentes looking for O'Neill. She'll chase after it. Phillips communicating. Plays it to the corner.
And that's the communication also, just everyone knowing, Terlova knowing that she's going to play that puck and where she's going to play it, and now you got the exit.
Venisheva, her shot off the stick of Boulier. Bring in her 3 Isabel Cup championships to the Charge. The experience, OT winner, herself for the 6. Big time player, Venisheva. She's had her looks in Game 4. Darkangelo takes a look. She'll go for the shot. Bad save by Desbiens. Jenna rolls off. Boulier has her in a hold. Darkangelo up against O'Neill. Back into the corner for the Charge. Grant Mentes fleeing the zone. She hangs out at center for Montreal. Razova doing the work for Ottawa. Chased by Taven. Loose puck, Ottawa has a look. It's Meiksna. Cuts back. Losing her footing, has support from Leslie. These two connecting back in the first period. Meiksna tied up at the final seconds, but Bell's there for help. Feeds it off. Larocque has an angle. Down low it will go. Meiksna. A shoulder check out in front. A stick saved by Desbiens. As Montreal, a long shift now in their own zone.
Well, you're seeing those loose puck recoveries, and it's because of the urgency of those first few strides. This is a fast team that's pouncing, and the Ottawa Charge keeping the Victoire hemmed in. It's sort of been the rhythm and the pulse these last few games of this Charge team, showing their identity, something, you know, we were kind of wondering about all year long until the last stretch.
McMahon cuts back. Ambrose off the glass. It's all connecting for Ottawa. They've elevated their game in the playoffs. They showed it towards the end of the regular season. Best hockey yet. Markowski to McMahon. Through the legs, gets a hold of it. Into the corner it will go.
Well, you're seeing that Victoire just trying to get that puck into neutral ice and push Ottawa back right now. You know, you have to have 2 and 3 passes connected and speed off puck.
Shot by Gardner. Hits the netting. 51 seconds to go in the middle frame. Ottawa often outshoots Montreal in the first and the third periods. It's the Victoire that rise to the occasion in the second. You look at Poulin's 20 goals this season, 11 have come in the middle frame. Face off in the offensive zone for Montreal. Poulin will take the draw. She was 5 for 9 in the first period. Stacey lined up behind her. She'll send it to the corner. Out in front, Poulin tries for the shot, takes down D'Arcangelo. Lost the shot. A great shift for Poulin so far. Another body, this time with Ashton Bell. Phillips holding tight. Puck still loose down low. Stacey, her shot hits some bodies. Looks like it went off the mask of Youngblood. She's shaken up. She'll head up front to Stacey Scans. In front, a great stick by Bell. Finding D'Arcangelo and to Jenner at center.
Well, that's just a tenacious shift by Poulin. I mean, she has had to take and absorb a few hits here. They are playing her extremely hard, and she's matching it in terms of her intensity.
Here comes Clark, final seconds of this period as Poulin fires it down. The buzzer sounds. Ottawa is surging ahead. One more period to go. We'll send things over to Callie Gregg with our second intermission as the Charge lead the way 1-0. Leslie, your lone goal scorer in Game 4 of the 2025 PWHL playoffs, presented by Shark Ninja. Gear up for the 2025 PWHL playoffs with all new playoff t-shirts. You can rep your favorite team with this new shirt, available online or shop the expanded collection in venue while supplies last. Visit shop.thepwhl.com to get yours today. Plus earn free shipping on all orders over $150 US or $200 Canadian.
Welcome into your second intermission report. Ottawa still leading 1-0 after 40 minutes. I'm joined by Anna Mikes. Now, Anna, it's been a tight game so far. How do you assess this matchup? Because it has just been incredible for the fans.
Yeah, it's fun. It's playoff hockey. That is really what playoff hockey stands for. We're having a lot of fun out there. We have a huge and amazing crowd behind our back, and we're going to give everything we have to finish this game here.
You went up early. How important was that to your game plan to now defend this lead?
Yeah, I think it was good to get the lead quick in the game. We gotta defend it, and we gotta keep pushing, and help win a little more in the D zone and give everything for each other.
Carla said she wants you guys to enjoy this moment. Is that hard to do when it's so tight, like this is a 1-0 game?
You know what? Not with that crowd. I mean, you just look around into this flooded arena. It's nothing but pure greatness that we're feeling, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a 1-0 game in this game, and it's similar to what we saw last game, another 1-0 game. Of course, Ottawa held on to win at home here, and they would like to do that again tonight. Winning would punch their ticket to the PWHL finals. But let's look back now at Game 3 and how Ottawa pulled it off. After 2 games in Montreal, including the longest in league history, the series now turns to Ottawa. TD Place is already walking, and the Ottawa Charge come home to a hero's welcome.
Our game again here, we're going to set the tone at home, make sure that we're going at them. Keep bumping, keep going on our toes. Let's get them. Come on, Brett!
The first ever pro women's hockey playoff game in Ottawa. Who will take a series lead tonight? Clark deep in the zone, drops it back. Ottawa, a chance here, cleared away. Spins back, out comes Boyd. Phillips with a great save. Shot outside. She scores! Man and McMahon charges up Ottawa. Will fire up the kazoos, Ottawa. The Charge have taken a 2-1 series lead against the Victoire.
Here's to the bold, the determined. More than athletes, they're icons, warriors, opponents of the status quo. Proving that dreams are realized through dedication and come alive on the ice. This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
trigger with aim on a target. I'm shooting my shot, yeah. It's right on the money, no discount, no bargain. Hear them calling. The clock is ticking, we cannot be stalling. We pulling up harder. Hey, one shot, one chance, I gotta go all in. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, I'm bound to win it. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, get down to business. You know what it is. You know what it is. Game time check, game time we. Game time check, game time we up. Gotta stay up, way up. It's cut a dub on a rematch. First time won't be last. It's the beginning, we just got started. 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 It's the beginning, we just got. It's the beginning, we just got started.
Welcome back to your second intermission report. Ottawa leading Montreal after 40 minutes. Now, we saw some more grade A chances at both ends of the ice in that second period. Let's bring in our analyst Cheryl Pounder and play-by-play caller Kenzie Lalone. But Ottawa largely able to keep Montreal to the outside a lot of the period there.
Yeah, absolutely, and they did a bulk of the shots on net as well in that department, out shooting Montreal 10-8. And it's interesting, the Victoire have only registered more than 10 shots on net in 2 of the 15 periods of hockey that have been played so far in the playoffs. Ottawa has done a good job of keeping them at bay.
Well, they really have. And we spoke to Carla McLeod, and she said it's all about your defensive structure, and it's in all 3 zones, I might add, and it's about layering. And so what is layering? And it's making sure you're above the puck in the offensive zone, tracking back through the neutral zone so that your defense can stand up. And if you're in the contact zone defensively, now all of a sudden you have a second layer to be able to get the puck and move north. But when you're in the offensive zone, you're above the puck, now you disrupt. Now that they get their feet going, I mean, they're a fast team, so if they can get on the puck first, because if they're steering and the way that they're pushing to the outside, they're going to have success where they're leading with the exits, and they've been really good in disrupting. You can see the stick position from above it, and now, of course, fighting to protect the middle of the ice in the contact zone, again, in those good positions. Now they're on the hunt, and they have a ton of pace up and down the lineup. I would say that they're faster than Montreal, so if they can use that pace, if they have back pressure, they're going to allow their D to get those loose pucks. What I've also liked is they've used the boards. They're not afraid to use the glass. They fight for that position, move it quickly. Don't turn it back. Don't bring the forecheck to you. Continue to do exactly what you're doing with a 1-goal lead. Move it north right away. I think they've been outstanding in that category, but you're looking at it up and down the lineup. It's not just line one, right? It's not just your top pairing. You look at the collectiveness of this group. Each and every one is executing their role in their positioning and recognizing where they are on
and
the
what
ice.
have we learned in the PWHL playoffs? Depth wins you championships. In Ottawa right now, their depth is firing. Montreal had a chance on the player advantage. They're now 2 for 9 in this playoff series against Ottawa. They were able to register 3 shots on their power play, but just couldn't put it away.
Yeah, and they got their looks, right? They wanted to get that puck to Poulin, and why wouldn't you? And she was on her off flank to be able to fire at the dot. You've got Kayla Barnes in the middle, and you've got Erin Ambrose as the quarterback on the back. And one of the things I love about Erin Ambrose in the specialty team department is she knows her spacing. Whether she's on a PK, she'll take away the back door because she always has eyes on the ice. And what I mean by that is she's not just tracking the puck carrier, she's tracking those off puck. And then when she's on the power play, look at this, manipulate, draw. I know that I'm getting squeezed. I'm going to get that puck through. It may not be on net, but I know I'm going to put it to a position where we can recover it. Now all of a sudden she's on the other side of the ice, keeping that play alive. And listen, she has got one heck of a brain on her. She uses her eyes as deception, and she knows when to shrink or to extend the zone. So it's not flash to her game, but it is effectiveness to her game, whether it's a first pass, whether her first strides to protect in the middle of the ice, or whether she's manipulating the offensive blue line.
And in a low-scoring game like this, that means goaltending has been great. We've got 2 goalie finalists of the year in Desbiens and Phillips at the other end.
And there's been some high dangers on ARD, and that's just That's what I'm using now. I'm using 3 initials. Amrene, you got it, do you? You got it. And Amrene, I mean, she's to task right now, moving post to post, and also getting out and challenging at the top of her crease. And just clean in her movements right now. I thought in the first period there was a couple of errant rebounds, but now she's just been clean. She's been finding through desperation how to make a second save. But then it's going to Phillips on the other side. I feel like her glove hand is shaky right now. We've seen a couple of pucks that have been up high go off of it. I think if I'm the Victoire right now, I'm looking to elevate that in a hurry. But she has stood tall in the crease. That calm, collected nature is confident and doing the job, keeping the Victoire out.
Those on-player rushes certainly jump off the page for me. You look at the goal that was scored by Rebecca Leslie back in the first frame. Well, that was a nice 2-on-1 with her and Anna Meitzna. As the Ottawa Charge have done a great job so far in their second ever home playoff game as they find themselves 1 period away from a date with the Minnesota Frost. But the Victoire will need to dig deep and climb the mountain. The captain will certainly lead the way. 1 more period to go in Game 4.
Started, finger on trigger with aim on a target. I'm shooting my shot, yeah. It's right on no money, no discount, no bargain. Hearing them calling, the clock is ticking, we cannot be stalling. We pulling no harder. Hey, 1 shot, 1 chance, I gotta go all in. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, I'm bound to win it. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is, I gotta get it. You know what it is, get down to business. You know what it is. You know what it is. Game time, check, game time, we game time, check, game time, we up. Gotta stay up, way, way up. It's cut it up, want a rematch. First time won't be last. It's the beginning, we just got started. 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 It's the beginning, we just got. It's the beginning, we just got started.
Joined now by Montreal head coach Corey Chevry. Corey, we know it's do or die. What was the mood in the room during that intermission?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a determined group. They feel like they've had some pretty good chances, and we have. So, you know, we're just trying to keep pushing and playing our game.
At a time like this, how much do you turn to your veteran leaders?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're going to certainly lead the way and help us through these types of moments, but we need everybody.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
It will take everybody up and down the lineup to Desbiens in the net as the Victoire have an uphill battle. Down by 1, facing elimination. They've been in this situation last year against Boston. It was Game 3 during that time. We're going to use that experience and find a way to finish late in the game.
Well, this 20 minutes, I think this is going to be back and forth action and a battle of the goaltenders right now as well. You know, Poulin is going to put on a fight, and you've seen it. I mean, she's had to absorb hits. Ottawa's been all over her, whether it's been Hughes, Darkangelo, Clark. Of course, Jocelyn Larocque playing on the back end, playing her hard, not giving her a ton of space. She will have to fight for every inch, but she is strong, she is balanced. She will do whatever she can to try and right the ship for her group.
Charge fans behind them every step of the way. Third period on deck between the Victoire and the Charge. One spot is open in the PWHL finals. Who will it be? Larocque off the draw. Sends it the other way. Over to Clark, back into the Victoire zone. Barnes chases after it. Look at Montreal's history in winless games through 40 minutes. Looking for their first win after being winless through 40. Larocque. Into the corner, gives some room for Clark. She comes out with it, she scores! It's Emily Clark for the Ottawa Charge.
Dream start to the third period. Look at the positioning of Emily Clark on the dump in, which she puts in. She's going to stay really, really high as F3. Being responsible defensively because she knows who she's up against with that 1-goal lead. It's about disruption. We talked about defensive posture. Now that puck works its way high east-west. The shot comes off. Now it's recovery because of the position. And now on her stick, you can see that power move to the net. Back in to forehand. And goodbye as she's able to put it by Renee Desbiens with that cutback. So good defensive posture leads to opportunity, and Emily Clark buries it.
Her first in the postseason, Emily Clark. Her goal accompanied by 2 assists in this series. As the Clarkie chant starts at home. And for the Ottawa Charge, now 5 of their 7 goals have been scored in the third period in this series against the Victoire. They had allowed the most goals against throughout the regular season in their final frame, but they have found a way to come up big in the last period.
Well, that's just a dream start, and I think Corey Chevry thought there might have been a hand pass there. But that is a dream start to a third period. You're 31 seconds in, and see it's going to go off the skate of Wilgren. I think Gabby Hughes touches that.
Montreal is challenging the play for a hand pass.
So officially challenging the play for a hand pass. So we take a look.
We have to see where that puck is. It doesn't look from the angle that we see that Hughes actually moves that puck with her hand. So the puck is just underneath her. The stick is away. It is the skate that makes contact with the puck. Doesn't look like from that angle, but CSR will have different looks as well.
We've seen head coach Carla McLeod challenge for no goalie interference, unsuccessful. That resulted in a Victoire power play earlier on in the series.
Well, and coaches can challenge for stoppage of play, right? And so they're saying that this hand pass, but again, Corey Chevry electing to do this with a 2-goal deficit, seeing if she can negate the call. Such a huge moment, and we talk about this and just how pivotal these calls are. It's a game of inches right now with these two teams. And Emily Clark, who has been playing on her toes with pace, but also just so defensively responsible. So the awareness of when to pounce. You make a mistake against a Poulin line, now all of a sudden it's going the other way. Instead, it winds up on her stick as we look again as Gabby Hughes. The puck comes underneath, so kind of like a little bit shielded there as Poulin is coming in behind to be able to get a real good look. But from the vantage point we have, it doesn't look like there is a pass that is made. The hand goes down as she's falling to the ice. The other one does not leave her stick and does not look to touch that puck. And then Clark is able to pick that puck up and make good on it by getting a goal.
They're playing the replay in-house here, just engaging the fans to point good goal right now as we look across TD Place Arena, and they've all got the arms out. It's only a matter of time as the headsets appear to be off for the officials.
Well, you're seeing the good goal signs. You chose us. This fan base is electric. I mean, Ottawa manages to punch their ticket to the PWHL Finals. Get your tickets, everyone, because this place is an unbelievable building to be a part of.
In consultation with CSR, there's no hand pass on the play. We have a good goal.
Victoire unsuccessful on their challenge. So Ottawa back to the power play, 0 for 1 in this game. Unsuccessful on the challenge. This power play brought to you by Royal Tiger Towel, paper towel, power through tough messes. So Emily Clark, her first postseason goal with the support of Gabby Hughes, her second assist in the postseason. Charge lead 2-0 in the third period. Just 31 seconds, that's all it took for Clark to get on the board for Ottawa in this final frame, and now to the player advantage. Jenner working it up high from Razova. Katarina Razova taking a look. Missed 16 games this season due to injury. Takes a look with pace. Up high, Taylorova drops it back. Willoughby will chase. Razova down low. Vinisheva out in front. Jenner now for Ottawa. Taking a look. 4 power play goals for her in the regular season as the captain winds up. Great tip by Darkangelo. Vinisheva rolls off, has Ambrose chasing. O'Neill tries to kick it ahead. Taylorova has control. A minute gone on Ottawa's second power play of their game. Razova off the body of O'Neill, redirected to the near corner. Jenner ahead of play. She'll take the space, tees one up. Desbiens makes the save. Ottawa, some good looks on this power play. Darkangelo on the backhand. Taylorova, far side for Vinisheva. In front, Razova challenges. Victoire able to get a piece of it. Under 40 seconds to go on this power play. Haven has control for Montreal, loses it. Taylorova with real estate, tries for the shot, a diving play by Ambrose. And here comes Poulin, short-handed the other way from Montreal. Poulin, the captain, to the backhand, off the stick of Phillips. Well, it's a game of inches, it doesn't get much closer than that. Stacey now in the corner for Montreal. Final seconds of this charge power play as the Victoire press, short-handed. Poulin at the top of the circles. Ottawa into the hands, out comes Dubois, and we're back to 5-on-5.
And that's a 200-foot play, right? Erin Ambrose on Taylorova, the sliding play to get that puck going the other way. And boy, are we in for a hockey game here with the remaining 17-20. We talked about Erin Ambrose and her brain, her anticipation. And boy, does she ever use it as Taylorova turns over the puck to get a point-blank chance. Erin Ambrose gets in the way of it, and then it goes the other way. And it's going to be Marie-Philippe Poulin with just a golden opportunity, shifting left to right to be able to get that opportunity on net. But again, you got to recognize, you got to anticipate. And Erin Ambrose, she sprawls horizontally to make herself as big as possible, not vertically. And that's what allows that puck to be not only blocked, but go the other way. And exactly on the stick of everyone on the Victoire who wants it, and that is Marie-Philippe Poulin.
She has a short-handed goal this season. Couldn't find the back of the nets. As Boulier sends it in. Boyd goes after it. She'll protect the puck. Marie-Philippe Poulin said at the start of this playoff series, the trip out west for this group was critical for them. It allowed them to bond. They're on the road for about a week and a half. 3 takeover tour games, Seattle, Vancouver, Denver, and they really grew close. She said that was a changing point for this group. After that, they came home, won 6 straight. They'll look to lean on that connection now in this final frame as Murphy's shot just wide. Montreal heating up in the third period. Serdachny with speed the other way, has Bach with her. Pulls it in to protect. Serdachny out wide. She'll take the shot. A blocker save by Desbiens. Maureen looking to use the glass. Razova steals it. A pass to Serdachny. Can't get the shot off.
We've seen some opportunities by that fourth line as well. And we've noticed Serdachny as well. When she gets speed underneath the puck, she can go and she can shield. Carla McLeod said, I want her shooting. Well, she shot it all right.
Serdachny coming off just playing just over 9 minutes. Use of ice time for the charge forwards. Her shot, though, when she can let it go, look out. Barnes as well with a bomb from the blue line. Johnson Larocque moves it to center. Razova has some speed. She'll look far side for Leslie, who opened the scoring in game 4.
You see that Jocelyn Larocque just touches that puck up into the neutral zone, and I like that play. You know, that Victoire are starting to press, right? They're starting to press. You've had a turnover in your own zone. And if you get that puck turned over, you can see the dislodge above the position. Coming down is going to be Barine, moving that puck to the middle of the ice, and that shot's just going to miss a little bit wide. I think that you got to make sure that you're protecting that puck. Jocelyn Larocque says, I got 2 players here. You know what? I'm going to put that to safety, and guess what? It's going to be Mrazova who's able to recover it. You got a 2-goal lead. You do not want to be pulling that forecheck back. You want to make smart decisions, and if the middle of the ice ain't there, don't put it there.
Clark 4 goals, 4 assists in her series against Montreal over the course of the season. Hughes now points in back-to-back games. Talked a lot about this top line for Ottawa. As they have control now. A back check by Stacey. McMahon looks to settle it at middle ice. Barnes protects off the skates of Clark. Another angle. She'll move it up high, looking for Greg at the far end.
Just a great job by the initial forechecker to steer and push the Victoire back. Now Poulen's line is going for a line change. That's exactly what the Hughes line wants. Textbook.
Ashton Bell. Offside will be the call. Challenging pill to swallow for Ottawa. A great drive for them.
Canadian Tire is proud to be a founding partner of the Professional Women's Hockey League.
What a beauty!
Together, we're building a stronger future for women's hockey on and off the ice.
An excellent start to the third period for the Ottawa Charge. Face-off coming just outside as they were offside moments ago. Willoughby fighting for space. Sierra into the corner.
I think Willoughby can be an X factor. You know, she's got a lot of speed to her game, and you got to match speed for speed here. And this is a very fast, charged-up Ottawa team whose energy has certainly gone to their legs.
Willoughby had the most minutes in game 2 outside of the top line for Montreal's forwards, Stacey, Garner, and Poulin. We talked a lot about depth. D'Arcangelo finding Leslie in front at puck. Up high as O'Neill picking up at the far end. Gardner with speed, leading the way for Montreal. Nice toe drag, finds Tabin on the rush. Savalainen on it first in the corner. Ottawa looking to reverse this play.
Well, that's just a nice play by Savalainen as well. And one of the things, she's a larger defender, so that she's got that leverage of a stick to push.
Here comes Leslie on the far side for Ottawa. Feathers it across again, looking for Meixna. Trying to return the favor as the two connected earlier on in this game. Leslie taking a look. Into the corner, she'll send it. Goes for a change. Meixna taken down along the boards. Mrazova. High up play. Long lineage of Bulldogs here on this Charge roster. She leaves it for Bell, a former Minnesota Duluth defender. She'll walk in. Bell to the backhand. Off for a skate, she will. Down low, looking for McMahon. Mrazova. So much patience in her game. What a move! From the blue line, it will go. Katarina Mrazova, silky hands in game 4.
You're trying that in a 2-0 game, in a game-clinching game.
Inches from the blue line, might I add.
Not a chance. Mind you, I have no hands. But that would be in the corner so fast, Kenzie.
Great confidence by Katarina Mrazova. From the blue line, tees one out this time. It's McMahon from the far side.
Those are the ones you take a breath because it worked. Because if it doesn't, you come back to the bench.
One out for Yeshiva, one-on-one for Ottawa. To the backhand, she'll go. That was stick by Wilgren. She loses her stick in that battle. Poulin. General lays a hit on her longtime national teammate. Clock winding down. Montreal digging in, trying to find a way and push for a game 5.
Welcome to the land of 10,000 rinks, where we embrace winter's freeze. And when the puck drops, we come alive. But don't be fooled by the grace of our game. This chill molds champions with an icy resolve.
For some, this cold is something to fear. For us, it ignites our passion. We invite you on our ice. Just don't expect a warm reception.
Well, we've talked about Ottawa's third period dominance. Now 5 of their 7 goals have been scored in the final frame as we take a look at those goal scores. Game 2, Teralova, Jenner, those just under 4 minutes apart to force overtime, and what went on to be quadruple overtime. And of course, Clark here in Game 4, which is now the fastest goal at the start of a period scored in the playoffs, just 31 seconds into the third.
Yeah, I mean, she's just been so assertive and strong on her skates, but it's also her positioning. I think she's just been very, very aware, not afraid to pounce on loose pucks and to provide offense, but also very aware when it's not there and when she has to pull back to make sure she's in a real good spot on the ice to help out defensively.
Her first goal in 8 games for Emily Clark, a big one at home. Stacey takes it in with speed to the backhand. Phillips able to play it. Young run. He was elevated to this top line coming into Game 4. Wilgren colliding with 2 charge players. Gives room for Barnes. Backdoor. Phillips gets there in time. Gwyneth Phillips, the stop of the night. The fans behind that sequence. What a save for Gwyneth Phillips. McMahon chases this to center.
Wow, that was a game changer right there. I mean, when you know and you're aware of where everyone is on the ice, you know that that back door is wide open, so she's able to anticipate that and read that play. It's going to start with Laura Stacey, who comes in and is going to get a direct attack. Very, very north, linear, and she's going to the net, but then that recover, it goes low to high. Look at Poulin. She's going to pop higher, but look at Ashton Bell. She's going to track one side, and look at back door. Laura Stacey is wide open, right-handed shot, exactly where she wants to be, but Phillips sliding across to be able to keep that puck out of the net. We talk about her low play and how quick her movements are low, and that's a primetime example.
The other way for Ottawa. Jenner deep in the zone. Has Vinisheva there. With stick work, protects, finds Jenner in on the pass. Back down, looking for D'Arcangelo. 2-0, the Charge lead. 1 win, that's all they need for a date with the Minnesota Frost in the PWHL Finals.
Well, you see Brianne Jenner as well, just putting the puck to specific areas. Didn't want to block, pulled back as a high F3 to help. Again, just managing the game, knowing that you're halfway through the third period. Honestly, Kens, it is so difficult. You know, the pressure, you feel like you're so close to it, you can taste it, but you are not there.
Biggest 10 minutes for both these teams as Boyd fires it in. Kempel, net by Mike Snush. She gets there first. Mrazova moving towards the net. Abby Boreen. Collision back in the zone for Ottawa. Boulier challenged by Leslie. Ottawa goes for a change as Abby Boreen moves this puck ahead. Far side pass as Ashton Bell picks it up. Has Gardner chasing. She'll protect and use Phillips' net for safety, but Maureen Murphy's right there, and here she comes. Bell running out of room. Into the zone, she'll take it. A turnover, it's Clark again, and a nice move, but Wilgren poke checks it away. Darren Gray on her horse. At the far side, has Maureen with her. Throws up for support. Tries for the blue line pass, gets intercepted by McMahon. Teralova chips it to the corner. LaBelle trying to play this puck. Right. Colliding hard along the boards. Teralova, the 2 with a few extra shots. Emily Clark looking for the centering pass. Icing waved off. 109 to go. Wilgren moving it ahead to LaBelle. Montreal season on the line. Stacey, this top line back out there. Offside the call. 8:50 to go. The Charge surging ahead. 2-0 they lead in the final frame.
We were born to rise, to excel, to inspire. This city is a mosaic of millions here to make their mark, building dreams and forging destinies. Bold in spirit, unified in their passion for the game. Some play to compete, others play to win. But in this city that relentlessly pushes skyward, we play to celebrate a new era of hockey.
This broadcast and its content are copyrighted by PWHL Holdings, LLC for the private use of our audience. All rights reserved. Any other use or reproduction of this broadcast without the consent of PWHL Holdings, LLC is prohibited.
Welcome back inside TD Place Arena. The Charge lead 2-0. One win away from the PWHL Finals in a date with the Minnesota Frost, the reigning Walter Cup champions. Poulet battling hard here. Jenner takes it away, trying to get by Ambrose. Youngblood strong on the back check. Stacey heading the other way. Has been in this game, leading the playoffs with shots on net, whopping 24. Faden to center. D'Arcangelo offside the call. Both teams, as of late, being burned by these offsides.
But yeah, and I don't think, Ashton Bell's the one that just kind of alley-oops it into the neutral zone, just recognizing that she's got some red bodies in there and just hoping that they get a stick on it. That's exactly what you want. And Carla McLeod obviously playing Jenner and the Hughes line, a lot right now, but goes back to the fourth line as well. Just when she looks at the different matchups, she spoke to us about the depth on this team and how important it is. You've seen it as well with Minnesota Frost. Ken Lee plays his bench as well in that deployment.
As Victoria Bach has some speed, Teralova, her shot off the post! The Iron singing tonight. Teralova looking for her second of the playoffs. Montreal will finish top of the regular season. They are the first team to clinch a playoff spot. Tip in front just high. Dubois doing her best work in front of Phillips. Looking for Boulier off the backboards. Zerdakny picks it up in the corner. Both teams looking to play responsible. Here's O'Neill working below the play with Vasco. A few extra shoves for one another right in front of the official.
Well, after that shot, I would have wanted Zerdakny to stay in. I think she could have recovered that puck and kept it in while everyone else got a line change. The wholesale line change allows this entry.
Gardner pushed off by Mrazova. 8,011 fans out here tonight from PWHL Friday Night Hockey. Murphy takes a look. Her shot blocked by Savalainen.
Some opportunity here, and it was off the rush again and so fast. And Teralova's going to jump in, the defender, and she's going to go. She has Amrenay being beat to that far post. And you said the Iron, it sings, and then the puck goes the other way. And guess what? She tracks back, recognizes the numbers there. So she slashes across as a defender to squeeze Willoughby to one side of the ice because she knows she's got numbers. So went from an offensive to a defensive situation and shut it down. Defense is about shutting down the opponent as quickly as possible, and Teralova did it right there.
Face-off in Ottawa's end, 6:52 remaining. Off the face-off, Montreal wins it back. Markowski picks it up early, LaBelle there. Leslie trying to draw this puck ahead. From the blue line, walked in front of the skates of Youngblood. Bonds, another shot attempt. One more, a loose puck here, cleared away by Markowski. Wilgren keeps it in. She'll look off the skate of Leslie. Fighting for space, Wilgren and Youngblood. Now deep in the zone, Montreal sends 4. Youngblood heads net front, 2-on-2 battle to the left of Phillips. LaBelle head up play for Wilgren. Challenged by Eichsa. Go, Charge, go, fans. With the chance late in this period. LaBelle looking to silence them out in front. Wilgren picks it up along the half boards. Phillips, mask pops off, so immediate stoppage of play.
Markowski is having words with LaBelle there, but want to make sure they don't want to get into any of the rough stuff.
5:57 to go. Montreal with their season on the line. Ottawa looking for a ticket to the PWHL Finals. So here's how the 2025 PWHL Finals will shake out if Ottawa wins tonight or Sunday. Ottawa will have home ice advantage, so games will begin May 20th, May 22nd. The schedule all right there for you, and tickets will go on sale tomorrow at noon. You can visit the pwhl.com/tickets to secure your seats today. As Montreal faces elimination, 5:57 remaining. We talked a lot about depth and that being the secret to success in the postseason, and Ottawa's found a way. Minnesota's depth has certainly elevated their defensive group, contributing offensively as well. Ambrose trying into the corner. Dubois on the walk. Beach lay a body. Stacey after it as Ashton Bell in her work into the corner. Bell taking the body again as Hughes works net front up against Poulin. Taven from the Blues. Stacey with her speed. Connects out. Feeds it to center. A break from Anna McMahon. All alone. It's McMahon. A chance. Her shot stopped by Dave Ban. Another chance though as the play continues on. It's Boyd this time. Her shot off the stick of Taven. Gardner floats this to center. Murphy comes in with speed. Draws it in. What a move by Maureen Murphy. They score! Montreal finds a way with 5:02 remaining.
Oh, that game of inches that we talk about. Just when you can almost see the finish line, it ain't over. McMahon and ARD makes a huge save. Good patience to hit Boyd, but that puck goes the other way. And you got to make sure you don't get caught deep. Gardner just makes a beautiful play. You can see the toes turned. And Savalainen and goes through the body to the middle of the ice. And I think that Phillips thought she had this one. Now she's looking for it. Opens a 5-hole and it squeezes through just a little bit, but enough to cross the line. So Murphy getting them within one.
Her second goal of the series, first at even strength here in 2025. She leads the Victoire all-time in postseason production. 3 goals, 2 assists. The depth shining for Montreal late in the third period. Maureen Murphy, a big goal from Montreal. They're within one. To the blue line for Taven. Slap shot save made by Phillips. Kayrolova crowds the puck. Charge sending 3 down below the goal line. Under 5 to go. Ambrose pinned by Kayrolova as Ottawa flips this puck to center.
Well, it just shows you, right? A save at one end, and you get yourself caught just a little bit, so your spacing is a little bit off, and that's how you can make those one-on-ones really pay off. Could have been 3-0, but now we're within one, a 2-1 game here, Kenzie.
Each and every game between Montreal and Ottawa has been decided by 1 goal. Take a look now at the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Intact Insurance, your best defense against the unexpected.
Well, Darren Ambrose, Kayrolova comes in, and look at this play. I mean, horizontal to be able to get that puck to go the other way, negate at one end, and then Poulin to the back end gets a great grade A scoring chance at the other. Aaron Ambrose with defensive play of the game.
Off the face-off, back to the top line for Montreal. Can they find a way? 4 to go. Loose puck, Bell plays it to the corner. Youngblood protects. Stacey down low, she'll take a look. Phillips turning back. Stacey trying to feed it from her legs. Marie-Philippe Poulin to Stacey. Into the hands of Leslie. Ottawa on the attack. It's Mikeson and Leslie again. Mikeson trying to chip it around Barnes. She stops up and keeps his play back the other way. Poulin has Youngblood. Just the two of them. It's Poulin. Her shot just wide. Now Barnes steps in for help. Savalainen to Murphy. Now the blue line. Taven walks the line, shot blocked by Poulin. Looking for the loose puck as Poulin is taken down. Murphy back out there for Montreal. Taven has some room, she'll take it. Katie Taven's backhand shot blocked, this time in front by Mrazova.
Well, you can see the pressure right now that the Victoire are putting the Charge under. Now you got to manage the game. You got to make sure that you're putting the puck to the right spots on the ice. If you are the Charge, keep the puck to the perimeter. Make sure you get up in the neutral zone so you can defend your blue line.
Go Charge, go. Chance continuing on late in the third. Ashton Bell for Ottawa. Big piece to this playoff push. Uses the glass. Descended the distance, icing waved off. Jenner in on the board battle. Barnes breaks free. Hughes protects. Out in front. Jenner was right there. Ottawa looking to go on the attack. Here comes Montreal, led by Caitlin Willoughby. Out wide for the Victoire. Willoughby takes a hit from Terralova. Brianne Jenner looks up ice, has Vinisheva with her. Teresa Vinisheva, her long shot off the inner skates of Jenner. She picks it up in the corner. Reverse pass down low for D'Arcangelo. Ottawa looking to start the cycle. Wilgren reads the play and flips this to center. Dawson Larocque has some room on the far side. She'll take it. Out in front, Desbiens holds it down with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, you saw some offense led by Brianne Jenner and just a mid-lane drive to open up some ice. And now all of a sudden, Jocelyn Larocque is activated and in on the play. You still want to maintain the opportunity to have pressure. And talk about pressure. Terralova leading with her stick. Willoughby's a fast skater, so is Terralova. But the extension of your stick pushes to the outside. And then another opportunity the other way with Jocelyn Larocque activated. Coming through the middle is D'Arcangelo and Mrazova looking for any garbage in and around the net.
Head coach Corey Chevry calling a timeout for Montreal. 2 minutes remaining, and they are within one. Maureen Murphy with her second of the series. Gardner with the primary assist for her third helper of the postseason. And Marie-Philippe Poulin with the secondary. We've talked about how she hasn't gone more than 2 games without registering a point this season. And that statement stays true here in Game 4.
Well, if you look at the lower seed advantage, third time in PWH history, the lower seed leads 2-1 in the best-of-5 series. So the lower-ranked team has advanced on both the previous occasions, Kenzie. So, I mean, we are still 2 minutes away from that happening, and there is a lot of hockey here to be played as Poulin is going to be lined up at the dot before the charge even come over. I can just see it with sort of the eye that she has, and the kids have the kazoos, and here we go.
Can you feel the surge, Ottawa? Remaining. Ottawa with an offensive zone face-off. Poulin taking the draw for the Victoire. Hughes meets her in the middle. Loose puck on the boards. Clark gets there first. Breaks through the legs of Ambrose, but Poulin has control. To Dubois. We'll keep our eyes on Desbiens as Montreal enters the offensive zone. Here goes Desbiens, an extra attacker to the ice for Montreal. It'll be Leah Youngblood. 6-on-5 for Montreal. Their season on the line. Under 2 to go, Larocque collides with Stacey down low. Montreal has possession. It's Aaron Ambrose to the blue line. Poulin to Ambrose. Marie-Philippe Poulin, these are her moments. Ambrose's shot blocked in front by Ottawa. And it's a clear and empty net at the other side, but it'll be wide. Emily Clark first on it, so the icing waved off. Meets Ambrose in the corner. Stacey picks up the puck. One more push. Can Montreal find a way? Out wide. Gets by D'Arcangelo, tries for the shot, it's blocked by Savalainen. D'Arcangelo has a moment, looks for Clark to the pass.
And Jenner and D'Arcangelo out there. Clark's still out there from the original timeout at the 2-minute mark.
A minute to go in the final frame, empty net at the other end. Arm goes straight up by the official as icing will be the call. And Ottawa feels as though it was touched at center.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether Carmen McLeod takes her time out here. I know you don't necessarily want to and give the Victoire an opportunity to set up, but she has a team that is gassed for the players that she would like on the ice. So we'll wait and see here.
And you see the replay, they're playing the touch and how the stick did in fact touch the puck. Carmen McLeod also motioning that it was redirected off the stick.
Well, that's a miss.
So a missed call. Dying moments of this game, 48.5 seconds remaining. Montreal empty net, 6-on-5 with their season on the line. Hamos finding Barnes. Her shot up high, glove down, in behind Phillips. Youngblood tries to play it. Zoe Boyd goes after it. Loose puck at center. Barnes will be first back for it for Montreal. Fans to their feet. It's come down to the wire as it always has between these two teams. Just a 1-goal difference right now.
Well, and this is a huge icing because not only does it force Renee Desbiens back in the net, but it also allows Carla McLeod to get the proper matchup that she wants. Her team had been gassed, so now you can look And it looks like it's going to come back to center, but nonetheless, it is not in the defensive end for the Ottawa Charge. So out comes Hughes.
And Desbiens heading back to her net.
She'll be all the way up at the tops of the circles. Looking to come.
Poulin, Hughes all series long as Desbiens heads back to the bench. Youngblood to the ice. Final seconds. Poulin up front. It's Barnes. Elaine, she'll take it. It's loose. Wrap around, just missing. Phillips gets her post in time. 12 seconds remaining. Empty net at the other end. Ottawa's going to go for it. Just wine as Barnes heads back and the whistle blown. Another offensive zone face-off for Montreal.
I would be surprised. I wonder if Emily Clark is potentially going to come back out here. But when you look at that, I mean, the icing is tough, right? I know as an athlete, you want to make sure you get it out as well. And that's a big part of it. So I don't think you're going for the empty net. You just want to make sure that you get the puck out. And that's exactly what happens here. Look at this. Poulin's going to put it high. Kayla Barnes is going to come down. And the wrap right in tight. Youngblood has it on her stick, but just misses. And now the ice. I understand that. You want to find the opening to clear it. You don't want to keep it in. But now an offensive face-off ensues.
They're just reviewing the time that was on the clock to make sure it was in fact matching. The moment of the icing.
Well, tenths of seconds matter here, right? Especially when you're looking at a set play and you're looking to win a face-off and go back. It can give you a second whack at a puck if you can get a little more time on that clock.
Officials having a discussion with the timeout keeper, making sure the time is correct. We knew it was going to come down to the wire. That's the way this series has been rolling. Face-off will be to the right of Phillips. Desbiens on the bench for Montreal.
And you've got Dubois lined on the inside as well as Youngblood. So two tenacious players who work hard in small spaces. So Poulin likely gonna go back here. Face-offs have been a critical part of their game. Coming in here over the course of the playoffs, they've been first.
Hughes and Poulin, it's been the story, these two. Hughes taking 45 draws in that game two, quadruple overtime game. Majority against Poulin. Here we go. 6.8 remaining off the face-off. Poulin wins it back. Barnes, Elaine, she'll take it, gets redirected into the corner, and that will do it. Ottawa holds on, and in their first ever appearance in the postseason, they are off to the PWHL Finals. The Montreal Victoire came in as favorites. They were the first to punch their ticket to the postseason. And for the second season in a row, it is the lower seed that takes down the top dogs in the semifinals. The Ottawa Charge, led by Gwyneth Phillips Jenner, but it's been up and down their lineup. It's the depth that got them to this point, and they deserve to be heading to the PWHL Finals.
Well, it was a connected effort and how they played a layered system defensively and had the opportunities to get the puck to go the other way, and I'm impressed with the way they managed the end of the game. It has sort of been their Achilles heel last season and the beginning of this season, but the adversity has taught them how to manage the game. And with all of that pressure, with the 2-goal lead going to 1, could have been a 3-goal lead, but Emrene Bam makes the save. They're able to weather the storm. The foundation and backbone of Phillips, and this layered attack finds a way to punch their ticket to the Walter Cup final, or the PWHL finals.
What a game, what a moment. Ottawa forever forward. Up next, the biggest mountain to climb, the PWHL finals, a date with the Frost. The Ottawa Charge remain undefeated at home in the postseason. TD Place Arena, the rink to be. This place has been electric. Over 8,000 fans coming out yet again to see their team take down the Victoire. No win bigger than this. We talked a lot about the overtime thriller to punch their ticket to the postseason. It was Katarina Mrazova in Toronto. This time a full team effort, and they rose to the occasion. Let's hear from the Charge captain, Brianne Jenner, who's with Kelly Gregg.
Brianne, took the last day to get into the playoffs. Montreal chose you, the longest game in PWHL history. Tell me how this battle has gone for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really fun hockey to play. We had to, I think, grind for every win. That's a great hockey club over there that gave us a great challenge, and I think we're playing our best hockey at the right time of year, so it's exciting.
There was so much importance putting it on this game, doing it game 4 to do it in front of your fans at home. How does it feel?
It feels great. I think, you know, we owe these guys some big time wins. They've been there for us last season, this season, and just, I mean, it was hot enough in here, but with the crowd as loud and crazy as they were, it was just an amazing atmosphere.
This is the first time in the playoffs. Now you're headed to the PWHL finals. What's the next test for you? Obviously, this is just a step.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep playing the right way and do that shift after shift. I mean, it's nothing fancy in the playoffs. I mean, we had everybody on our team bought in and dug in today, and just, you know, the battles at the blue lines, the stick battles, it was just phenomenal. So,
how proud are you of this group?
Yeah, so proud. It was a challenging year for us, and to see us continue, and just the resiliency of our group, but, you know, we know we got more work to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this group got it done. Take a look now at the delivery of the game, brought to you by Instacart, the winning way to get groceries delivered.
It's going to be, you know, just finding a way to get to that puck, and it's going to be Emily Clark with the dump in, the recovery, and how about it? Then I'm going to take it right to the net to beat Emrene Bam. 31 seconds in to the third period. She buries it to give her team the 2-0 lead.
The Ottawa Charge take down the Montreal Victoire to punch their ticket to the PWHL finals, and they do it at home in front of the fans. More to come after this.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're Julie and Tessa from Jocks and Jills, the official podcast of the PWHL.
We hope you're enjoying the game so far, and we'll see you right after because we're going to be live on the PWHL's YouTube page as soon as it ends, breaking the whole thing down.
That's right, we're going to be live on PWHL YouTube after this game and after every single 2025 PWHL playoff game presented by Shark Ninja. You guys can scan the QR code on your screen right now to go to the PWHL's YouTube page or meet us there right when the buzzer goes. We'll see you there.
You can join Tessa and Julia in a few moments as this game has come to a close. 2-1, your final, the Ottawa Charge. Another big third period. Emily Clark, Rebecca Leslie on the board, and the efforts of Gwyneth Phillips cannot go without notice. Rookie this season has been incredible. A storm is coming as the Charge punch their ticket to the PWHL Finals. Let's hear from Gwyneth Phillips now, who's with Kelly Gregg.
Gwyneth, all along the way, there were so many doubts about this team. If you could close out, there were injuries, including to Emmerich Smashmeyer. How does it feel to get it done here?
Yeah, I think that shows the grit that this team has. We pushed through a lot of adversity, and here we are.
First time in the playoffs, first time now in the finals. Just hearing that, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. What we're doing here is special. We're only in our second year, and super honored to be a part of it and start making some history in Ottawa.
I asked how you were, you said tired off the bat. I mean, you've faced so much, a pivotal save on Laura Stacey to keep your team in this game. How much of that work have you gone through? How much of the pressure have you felt through this series?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really long series, a lot on the body, especially playing that 7-period game, but you know, my teammates tonight were making it as easy as possible for me, and we're just gonna hit the, start recovering and be ready for the next series.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
3 wins now for Gwyneth Phillips in the postseason, most by a single goaltender in the 2025 playoffs. As we take a look at your final stats, the power plays have really dried up to close out that series. Shots on net, the Charge, well, they outshot Montreal in the first. It was Victoire in the second, and then another storming push from the home team to close out the third. 2-1, your final. And up next, the big one, a chance to hoist the Walter Cup. The 2025 PWHL Finals will be between the Minnesota Frost and the Ottawa Charge. Game 1, Tuesday, May 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tickets go on sale Saturday at noon. Go to thepwhl.com/tickets to reserve yours today. What a series it was. It always came down to the final period. Each game won by a single goal. It was a battle of goaltending. It was a battle of depth and the best fans in the league. It was an incredible Game 4 finish for the Ottawa Charge, who come out on top and take down the number 1 seed, the Victoire. That will do it for us in the nation's capital. On behalf of myself, Kenzie Lone, Cheryl Pounder, Kelly Gregg, and our entire PWHL broadcast team, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the finals.